Please shake hands. I want a good, clean fight tonight. We will be playing 7 rounds. The first team to 4 wins. Each captain must try to use each of their representatives. Each captain must try to use their representatives an equal number of times. Tonight we are playing for bragging rights and a beautiful trophy that the FSPA has apparently hoarded and I don't have here. Wait, here's the trophy.
That is our trophy. We are that fair and square.
Tonight, the winner of the challenge will be taking this home and hanging on to it for another year. The losing captain will be stuck with this duty next time there's one of these challenges. Don't lose, you'll be the ref. It's humiliating, it's embarrassing. Just don't do it. Yes. Round 1 is a full game on Metallica. Best 2 out of 3. As the winners of the challenge earlier today, you have choice of either picking your player first or choosing position. They have chosen second. Who would you like to go first, Al?
That's an interesting choice.
Game 1 will be Brian Smith versus Jill Mellinson.
Brian and Jill.
One other change to the rules from last time. The substitution rules have changed. Last time we had this challenge, each captain could substitute 1 minute 3 times. This time, the captains have the right to use a substitute for the whole ball, and it can be any player that represented their organization earlier today. By winning the challenge, Mr. Schober here has 2 additional ones, so he will have 3 substitutions. Al has 1. Let's have a good, clean fight. Good luck. Back to the booth.
All right, our captains tonight for FSPA is Joe Schober.
No.
For Pittsburgh Pinball
Jills.
League, it's Al Crush It Like Tomka.
Who? I've never met that guy.
Al, he's just the coach.
Oh, okay. It's an electric crowd here tonight at the PAPA facility. A lot of bad blood boiled over from last year. It was a close match that came down to the wire.
How close was it?
I'm pretty sure it came down to Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Petey actually had called himself up as using a substitution to try to finish it on Creature, and just fell a little bit short.
I don't think there was any actual bad blood, just for the record. I mean, we can build this up, but that just doesn't seem appropriate.
Okay. So Brian Smith starting here on Metallica.
We've got Brian Smith here representing Pittsburgh. He'll be player 1 here, and player 2 will be Jill Mellinson. This first match will be best 2 games out of 3 with regular play. And what do you think? What would you think players are going to try to do here as the start
all
on?
day, I think.
Okay.
In a not necessarily a match. Well, it kind of is a match play format, but I think best 2 out of 3. That's people are going to try to get to the quickest multi-ball with what we consider the safest multi-ball per se is going straight up the middle and trying to get that sparky shot.
Okay, so that sparky shot right up the middle of the game, and you can hit it from either flipper. It tends to be a little easier from the left flipper. The lights in front of Sparky tell the player's progress. So right now, you can tell from here that Gilles is less than a third of the way through. The ball's just started, but that progress carries over. So if he gets some progress this ball but doesn't get the multi-ball, it could still pay off.
Alrighty, gets a backhanded snake shot there. Now he can relight that snake by hitting any of the shots that have a snake inlay lit in front of it, so he can hit the grave markers there to relight it, the right orbit or the left ramp there right now, and even the left orbit's lit for a hurry-up shot on the grave.
All right, good start there. Nice nudge out of the right out lane. And of the left, good moves here by Gilles.
Gets control, thinks about his next couple shots, and there goes towards Sparky again.
Yeah, and he's actually more than halfway through to the snake multi-ball just from the shots he's made on this turn, which is pretty surprising. I don't know that he necessarily is definitely going for that, but it worked out.
So he's actually stacked up his hurry-ups. He's got a 2.85 million shot ready to go, and it's going to start decreasing. Oh, and gets a quick drain there.
And that's pretty serious. That's a lot of points.
That's
there.
a lot
that
of
was
points,
almost
yeah,
3 million points
for
down.
for one shot. Yeah, absolutely.
3 million points down the drain.
And, we have John adjusting our camera here. Just one moment.
All right, and you can see right there that 3 million would basically double his lead.
Again, we are here live at the PAPA facility right in Carnegie, Pennsylvania. We have the FSPA and the Pittsburgh Pinball League here at the League Challenge. Experiencing just a few minor technical difficulties here.
Completely off.
And
To
we
the
are
left,
trying
to the left, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the up, to the up. Woo! Yes, yes, many woos will be had tonight. As these. All right, let's
We're
hear
squared
for
away.
John Raplogle.
John
my.
using two hands to fix the camera today.
Yeah, tell us about that. Well, actually, John will come back. He can tell us a little more as well.
Yeah, we heard a little bit about it there on Wednesday night, but we'll tell John that story. So Brian Smith.
John Bryan was talking about how you were using two hands to adjust the camera. Why are we so excited about this?
It hurt.
So an unfortunate drain there by Brian Smith to start ball two.
Brian's a good player,
He
so
is, absolutely.
you wonder if he might, if there's any kind of issue of the crowd. The crowd noise and heckling is really unusual for a pinball competition. As
So
Jill starts Sparky multi-ball, this is going to be big.
that was interesting. He was coming out of the pops and it hit the up though. They gave it to him there, so gets a nice gift there.
That's an Ovechkin on his back.
Yeah, this is a
That's brutal.
a war shot against Pittsburgh. You know, it's like if you had to pick one jersey from that entire DC area
My
to wear.
goodness.
That's all right. He can wear whatever jersey he wants. We still have Sidney Crosby, so at the end of the day, that's pretty much all that matters. So he's cashing in on some jackpots. Gets the big one there for 1.6. Now these can be doubled to about 3.2, and then you can double it again using the fuel targets and the snake to get up to about 6.7, around 7 million point jackpot there at the end.
Yep. And one big tactic here is at the start of the multi-ball, you can hit the 4 white targets to light an add-a-ball. He didn't get there, but he still picked up a few million, 5 million for the multi-ball. It's probably around 15 now. Yep.
That's a respectable score when your opponent is looking at a score of 1/7.
Yeah, Brian is only 2.7 million through 2 balls, so Brian will have to then basically go all in for a multi-ball here.
Absolutely. Yep. He needs a pretty good ball here.
That's a quality play.
So now, I've walking up to it's not unobtainium by any means.
And again, we're here at Papa World headquarters for the PPL versus FSPA 2.0 League Challenge. It's game 1 on Metallica. It's the best 2 out of 3. Right now, Brian Smith is stepping up to play ball 3 against Gilles Melanson. We'll play another game of Metallica after this. And whenever the best of 3 ends, we'll move on to a different machine. All 7 machines you see in front of you at headquarters will be played tonight. And we'll talk to you about what the rules are each time. The winner of the competition will be the one who wins the best of 7 4 matches. Oh!
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
And, he put up a little choke symbol there, but no, there was no choke there. It was just a drain off a target. Couldn't avoid it.
Right.
It's a walk-off
Unfortunate.
win. Walk-off win for
The
Gilles.
best plunge in pinball.
Well, we'd like to welcome everybody who's in the chat watching, and
Hey, guys.
thanks for joining us.
Brian Tessier rooting for the outlane.
It's sort of like the Doug Polka. Doug Polka roots for the machine to win.
And the winner is Pete for standing in front of the camera while doing that.
The winner is Pete, as long as he doesn't bump into that camera again, so I
long as he
don't have all the trouble with resetting that.
All right, let's go to Pete and see what we're going to have next.
All right, it'll be Rob Wintler Cox representing FSPA. And PPL has decided to let the FSPA choose the opponent for Rob here.
Wow. That's an
which
interesting
is-
decision, especially when you're down by one.
Game 2, Rob Whitworth Cox against Chris Stevens.
And
Chris
it's Rob Wintler Cox
Stevens.
against Chris Stevens.
Oh boy, Chris is known as the best player that's in the PPL. So
He's extremely well versed on Metallica as well, so it'll be exciting to watch here.
So what makes you say that Chris is the best player in PPL, saying he's known at that?
Chris is currently the highest ranked player in the PPL. I think he's in 12th ranking in the world, which would be. He doesn't have the most PPL championships. That would be Al, actually, and tied with me. But Chris's play has been acknowledged by a lot of the world champions as right up there with their own recently, and at least in the past year and a half. I mean, you've said as much, right, Bowen?
Yeah, Chris made the semifinals at the IFPA World Championship this past May in Denver. Just before that, he finished in the final 8 in the U.S. Championship, and really he should have won. He got a bad break and lost that match. He would have been in the semis and perhaps all the way to the end, the way he was playing that day. Chris has also made the final 4 at Pittsburgh, and he's made the final 16 at Papa as well. So he has pretty much the full pedigree of competition victories and performances. We'll see how he holds up against the FSPA noisemakers right here.
Well, that's a different. That's a whole different story, isn't it? I mean, it's no concentration time. You're gonna get yelled at.
And he's got his standard. Oh, good shake out there. One warning.
That was
Beautiful.
That was necessary.
So what's the risk reward there?
I mean, there's no risk. Either you save it or you lose it. I mean, and there's not that much bonus in this game, at least until you get way far into it.
Yeah, so for novices who are just learning how to nudge or deciding whether to nudge or not, just go for it.
Tilting is trying.
Very enthusiastic crowd here this evening. So he's about 2/3 of the way now through to Sparky.
Yeah, I noticed there that he's transferring the ball. Even though from the right flipper it is possible to shoot Sparky, it's an easier shot from the left, so he post-transfers over. Doesn't take a shot from the right flipper. Chris, a very controlled player. And right there, that nudge was the difference between his ball and Rob Wintler-Cox's ball. Same kind of movement on the ball, but he was able to save that, and there's not much he could have done about that.
Yeah, that was straight down the middle. STDM.
Straight to the middle.
That's often how I would say it.
You said STDM, so
Straight to the middle. Yeah.
straight down the middle. Straight SDTM is what you should have said.
I was just thinking of STDs, I guess. Said M.
All right, well,
All right,
Rob
well,
Wintler-Cox
all right.
here.
Good night, everybody.
On ball 2. It's a pretty close match so far. But when you were talking about, those post transfers, I feel like Metallica is probably one of the most post transfer friendly games. It's very simple to do, or feel not necessarily simple, but it's very easy to learn on this particular game.
Any particular reason you'd say that this one is easier than other games? What makes it easier?
It might just be, the geometry of the position of the wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so a little up and overaction there, and so what were you saying about the geometry?
My best guess would be the geometry of the slingshot compared to where the flipper is. If you look at some of the older games, if you take a game like Roller Disco or Genie, the ball sits a little bit further behind the bottom of the slingshot, and it's it's really hard to do. So it kind of forces players to utilize other skills such as tap passing and things like that. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's interesting how just any slight change in that geometry can cause a huge change in the flipper action and the choices that a player can make to transfer a ball. He's almost happened again. That was the way he lost ball one. I was trying to shoot it into Sparky, hit it too far to the left, and then it went up and down that ramp.
Oh, he's actually playing a little bit nervous right now. It looks. This is not.
He's normally controlled. He's just take a breath, man. Oh my! Oh.
I think the crowd noise is starting to get to Chris.
Yeah, this is the way it should be, man. This is. I'm hopeful that we'll get tournaments turning into more of this and less of the golf tournament environment we're used to. Sparky begins, and so. This is going to mean quite a lot of points here.
Yeah, his objective right now are those drop targets you were talking about earlier, and those are found on both sides of the grave markers and on both sides of the right ramp, I should say.
Yeah, he actually started this by shooting for fuel.
Interestingly enough,
the stand-up targets on the left. By completing fuel, you would light the double play field, and what happens is you can hit fuel and then have it kind of carom into some of the lights. There's the ball, and play field will be doubled for 20 seconds. This is big.
He's going to cash in.
$2 million right
He's
there.
got the fuel lit.
Fuel
just needs to cash in.
Fuel is ready, which would be a 4X. And this is looking really good. That's like a $3 million super right there. Extra balls, another $5 million because it's double. It's all going right for Chris right here. 4 balls in action, now 3, but never mind, now 2.
Now is this
$1 million for the outlane?
Is this a point where you would? There he goes. Now he's got his just 2x going, and actually
now
hit
it's
that
4X
last target.
Because he's back in. He shot it back into the. Right. So this is all 4X now.
So if he wants to get that grave marker, hurry up! Nice nudge.
He's getting greedy though. He's not going for jackpots with his 4X. He's actually going for crank it up.
Ah, I see.
At least that would be my opinion.
What's crank it up? How do you get there?
If you collect a certain amount of all the items on the playfield, that's snakes, coffins, electric chairs, and grave markers, you can actually get to the mini one-ball wizard mode, which is called Crank It Up.
And that's 15 of each item, to be specific. And you don't have to hit the specific item per se to be given credit for one of those 15 shots. You can obtain those by hitting any of the main shots that have an insert that is lit for that item. So for example, if he were to shoot the right orbit, well done on cue, he was given credit for both a cross and a snake.
That's exactly, those are the exact items he needs to get to crank it up.
Right, and the right orbit's a relatively straight shot. So what you're going to see him do for here on out, he's going to post transfer the ball over and keep shooting that right orbit. Now, if he were to end his ball, he would lose all those. They do not carry over unless, as you see in the grave markers, they're all blinking. That means he's completed all 3 of those items on that particular main shot. If he were to shoot that, it would like to hurry up at the coffin, and he hits it, and then it does carry over from ball to ball. That stops blinking, it becomes solid, and it does carry over. So what he would need to do right now in order for that to happen would be to shoot Sparky. That would give him all 3. And the reason that would happen, the red insert that's blinking over on the right orbit tells you, if you hit one of the main shots, that is where the insert is going to be lit. And that's pretty much that.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty subtle rule for players who have been intermediate, even to advanced players on Metallica. That red flashing light, which is on the right orbit now, is sort of the active one. And as soon as you shoot a different shot, it's now switched over to the drop target bank because he shot that, and completing one gives you a hurry up. What'd you say about locking in then?
Oh, okay. So you saw that he had hit the grave markers there, and that initiated his hurry up there at the coffin. He hit the coffin, and now you see that the inserts that were blinking in front of the grave marker are now solid, and now those will carry over from ball to ball.
Nice. Well, I appreciate your hand gestures. They're not necessary. But if we have a telestrator someday, that would be where it's at. But at that point, we'll all have to be standing up like Monday Night Football announcers.
Telestrator 9000 coming soon to a pinball tournament near you.
Nice. Is that going to be with tilt cam as well?
Yeah, that's the next upgrade. Mark promised it by next week. So.
All right, so he's almost to crank it up. He needs a couple more crosses there, and that one is gone. Great ball by Chris Stevens of the Pittsburgh Pinball League, man in the checkered hat.
So Chris has put up more than just a foundation score, I'd say, at this point.
Yeah, this is very difficult to catch for Rob Windler-Cox here because Rob is not that close to any of the multi-balls. And even if he finishes one of the multi-balls, he's still not going to have 35 million. He'll have to play at least 2 good multi-balls or crank it up probably to get that. And I also think one thing to see about Chris's ball is just how conservative it was as well. When he wasn't flailing pretty much at all, and he had a goal in mind the whole time.
I think the goal was not to flail.
And that also, like, that controlled play also takes into account what shots are dangerous.
Absolutely.
So he didn't aim for the drop target bank. It actually, when he did hit it, it was by accident because that drop target bank is very likely to drain. Nice job by Rob to start Sparky multi-ball. He's got a lot of work ahead of him, still down by 30.
That is Al Tomka, to answer the chat room's question. That's Al Tomka, the captain for the PPL.
Wearing an Al Tomka shirt.
Just in case you didn't know who that was.
Well, why doesn't it say crush it like me? Because, I mean, like no one else could have that.
If you've ever spoken to Al, he always refers to himself in the third person in conversations with you.
Maybe because there's more than one. Never know. 50 million Tomkas can't be wrong.
That's too many Tomkas.
All right, so Rob has his atta-ball lit here. This is huge. If he can get it, that'll double his scores and give him an atta-ball, of course.
Yeah, there
And
it
he nails
is.
it.
All right, now he's going to need the
fuel targets. He's kind of far away from those.
Yeah, but he's cleverly taking the other points that are available, like the hurry-ups, and there's 2 million off of that doubled hurry-up. Here comes another hurry-up. And it's a lengthy ball save, too, like what, a 10 or 15 second ball save. Another $1.8 million. This is great.
This is adding up very nicely.
Another 2
actually.
million there
This
for
is,
enough coffins.
Nice.
Oh, he's already at 21. This is very impressive. Double super jackpot there for
3.1.
Rob Windler-Cox. It's
1.5.
The doubling must have just expired when he hit it, or I don't know. Like we said, he's now within striking range, but he's still short of the 35, and this is where that extra work that Chris put in on his ball too really pays off.
He's going to go for that right ramp.
this is a hard place to be in.
Oh.
Well, it got a lot easier for him because he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, great job by Rob Windler-Cox
good
to catch up, but that makes it 1 game apiece here in Metallica. The first game in their best of 7 league challenge. We will have 1 more game to determine the champion on Metallica, and then it'll be on to Flash Gordon.
So Pete Hendricks just announced Chris is the winner, and here we go. So Joe Schober has the choice for Game 3. What is he going to do?
They have chosen Bob Johnson going second.
So Bob Johnson is going to go second. Now Al Tomka has to make a choice for the PPL to decide who's going to go first.
And his choices are between Matt Clark and Amy Koval-Murthy
Wow.
against Bob.
Interesting.
Amy's coming in.
Amy's Amy is probably one of the most improved players I've seen over the past season.
Without a doubt.
I mean, Doug, do you want to chime in on that at all? Doug does not want to chime in
Answer
on
is
that.
no.
Doug disagrees. Oh. No, so, but Amy has been playing a lot of pinball recently, and the skills she's been picking up have really brought her a long ways. I think she still has a long ways to go, but let's see how she does here. Now, Bob Johnson's pretty good.
He is. He is. Gets the super skill shot right off the plunge. Let's see what she gets. A 1 electric chair hit. Merry Christmas, Amy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with going right for that electric chair if you can, because that's one less shot you have to make for Sparky later.
And they also had carom off the fuel there, too, for another hit to the electric chair. And her style is a pretty different style in that she rarely traps the ball compared to Chris, who is almost always trapping the ball. And you have a little. It's more difficult to get accuracy in your shooting, but you can also get into this really nice rhythm where you're making shot after shot and just feeling good about it and grooving along with the game. So lots of players have each style. Bob is actually also a little bit more on the fly than the other players we've seen. So it's an interesting battle between these two.
The interesting thing about on-the-fly players, I find, is that some of them develop these really amazing on-the-fly backhand techniques, which I think that really is something that a control player just can't quite get as well. Oh, big nudge, power in lane.
Yeah, Bob's on 2 warnings here, and
We both thought it.
that was
That
close.
was a nice recovery there.
You also have to know as a player that you can't take the kind of shake and nudge moves that you would normally consider there, because it will tilt at that point.
I think.
Oh!
Oh, wow. Ice cold veins.
Another one.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
This is that when I was here on Wednesday night for the PAPAtv broadcast, the same thing. I couldn't get control of the ball, and my scores definitely showed it. It's just that sometimes you get a hold of it, sometimes it gets a hold of you.
Yeah, and then it's also like when you do get a ball in a flipper like he did there, you can take a breath and just go, all right, let's get back into rhythm. But in Bob's play, his rhythm is to just go take that next shot right away, and groove. And he puts up almost $3 million.
Yeah.
It's a good start towards the electric chair, so he's well on his way.
And that's interesting that you say that, Bowen, because I think sometimes it can hurt to wait too long to think about your shot.
Amy just claimed a super skill shot without flipping.
That's actually a really cool thing to know that you can do.
That was absolutely amazing. Really, really smart choice there between her play and potentially coaching, but I haven't seen any other player do that, so it can't be coaching. It's probably just her knowledge of the game, and she's already closed that gap with Bob. What is a super skill shot? Like, this game has one, and a lot of other games have them. How do you find out about that? And then in this game, what are you activating? What are you looking for?
I mean, what are you looking for as far as what?
Yeah, what do you do? What are you trying to do when you do a super skill?
Oh, I mean, besides holding up the left flipper and then making a shot while you're in the period of time, I guess I'm not really sure what you're going for here, Bowen.
Well, like when most people play a pinball, they don't even know this exists.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So you have to make the extra effort to hold the flipper up, know that it's there, be able to take a completely different action than the normal action the player would take.
I mean, is there anywhere on the scorecard or on the playfield that it says hold left flipper for super skill shot?
I don't know.
Not to my knowledge.
How did we find out that it works? I guess just did it one day, right?
Yeah, I mean, there have been enough games now with super skill shots, like Attack from Mars is the first one that I can recall having a flipper-controlled super skill shot. Twilight Zone had, I think, the first thing that's actually called a super skill shot. Shot requires skill.
Super skill.
It's a tight battle here. The winner of this game will win Game 1 of the 7-game league challenge here at Papa World headquarters. I'm Bowen Cairns with Brian Dye, John Raplogle on the mics, and we're watching Bob Johnson almost get to multi-ball here on Metallica. It's him against Amy Koval-Murthy. Oh!
Oh,
A nice live catch there.
It was,
Just right at the tip of the flipper, and those are really, really hard to control.
It was beautiful, and then it was deadly.
He was almost surprised. I think he was almost surprised that he got the live catch, and then it's, oh, I still have the ball. I need to get rid of it.
that's true.
I do that all the time. It's
So Amy's going to walk up, and she's in a deficit here. She's about halfway through her electric chair, but 4 hits. Well, it's not that bad then.
Yeah, so that deficit is more serious than
she tried it again.
The bounce over did not work this time, so she loses those potential points.
And the ball save.
And but she'll need 3 more hits to the center bank to start multi-ball. 2 more.
I think that was a clean hit. Oh, look out, look out, look out!
Oh, it's a rough train for Amy Koval-Murthy. That puts the win in FSPA's column for Game 1.
And you can really hear the noise in the background.
the crowd is electric tonight.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
So before Pete even goes ahead and tells us what's up next for us here, I mean, are we done with Metallica now?
We are going to Flash Gordon.
Flash.
We'll be going from 2014 to 1980. And restriction here is that anyone who hasn't played yet must play first before anyone else can play again. So the first game will be between Jonathan Williams and Matt Clark, and after that we will start to see players repeating from the first game.
All right, gentlemen. Well, it's been a pleasure sitting in with you guys. I'm going to step out now and invite Julie Schober from the FSPA in. I'm sure I might be seeing you guys a little bit later, but let's welcome Julie.
All right, Dr. Dye, have a great evening. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
So, Flash Gordon, I love this game. We just featured this in our PAPAtv live segment this week, which might be one of the reasons it's still lined up here for this challenge.
Well, besides it being an awesome game that everybody hates and loves and hates again and loves again, and it's so brutal.
Yeah, if you do not hate Flash Gordon, you don't really know how to love Flash Gordon. That's, I think, a fair statement. Plus, I mean, those faces on that back glass inspire both fear, 70s lust, and loathing at the same time.
Which is which?
Hi, Julie.
Hey.
All right, and we just saw believe it or not, we just saw an entire ball played.
Well, I believe it. It's Flash Gordon.
That is Flash Gordon.
Julie, tell us about the 4 people who are playing tonight. Tell me everything you can.
Wow, that would probably take longer than I have here.
Well, okay. Well, then let's not say everything you can.
So the people here actually represent all 3 of the FSPA leagues, our Volleyball House League, our Town Hall League, and our Mighty Mike's League. And I believe Rob Wintler-Cox has actually played in all 3. I don't know if he played on all 3 at the same time.
Matt Clark tilted there.
So it's probably a worthy tilt. But man, it's tough to get going on Flash Gordon. And you only get your 1 game, your 3 turns. Jeez, man. This player for FSPA is Jonathan Williams. So what about him?
He plays in our Mighty Mike's League. He actually doesn't maybe play as often as some of the other players, but he's really strong when he gets going on a roll. I think, like a lot of players, he's not as consistent as some of the really top players, but he's a good guy.
In case people are in the D.C., Baltimore area and are interested in getting more information about the FSPA, do you know of a place that people can go to get said information?
I think the website is fspazone.org.
Okay. So if you're looking for a league to play in the Baltimore, D.C., Greater Maryland, Virginia, D.C. conglomerate area,
Yeah,
go check it out.
we really do cover most of the areas in the University of Maryland area, Baltimore, and down in Northern Virginia.
So Jonathan's playing a really strong ball here, making great decisions about what to shoot for and when. He's targeting those inline drop targets on the right, which are heavy points, but also bonus multipliers.
And he has now lit the bonus collect.
So is bonus a big part of the score in this game?
Bonus, man. You always want to cash your bonus.
Bonus is sort of like one of those inevitable things that happens, I think, in Flash Gordon, as opposed to something you really hope you get.
I guess you haven't seen how tilty I am when I play.
So you don't like to have fun with your bonus. You like to go directly to the end.
Yes.
I think in Flash Gordon, for every 10 seconds you play, you should put half as much force upon the machine because your bonus becomes that much more valuable.
Yeah, right now his bonus is sitting around 20 or 30,000. There's a 3x multiplier up there. That's big. This is a game-winning ball right here for Jonathan.
That's a good ball. He just got an order of magnitude more score and then some than his previous ball. I just like saying that. You know, it's not really a good way of counting things, but
It seems like you kind of have to have a thick skin to play in these league challenges because when you're up playing your ball, people will just straight up harass you.
That sounds awesome. I want to be in one of these, man. We got a pretty large league in New England, the New England Pinball League. Over 100 players now. And a lot of the league players are hoping to play one of these league challenges someday.
it's nice to have a relaxed atmosphere because so much of the competitive pinball atmosphere is we got to be quiet like we're watching golf. And we talk in a whisper because we're watching golf.
Jonathan Williams for par.
Do we also golf
This
clap?
is his third shot. And he's struck at the ball. Oh, gosh.
Oh, what's going to happen here?
Jonathan Williams risking it down the middle drain.
And then somebody yells, in the hole. So,
And then somebody, oh!
in the hole.
It wasn't a great ball there, but that ball two,
That ball two
was worth 3 or 4 balls right there.
So what is he going to do here when you're about down by 240,000 points, basically?
Scream and run.
You got to get those inline drop targets, the ones on the right side. There are 3 targets, and then the spot target that's behind those 3 is worth 25,000 a hit. Each of the targets itself is worth 10, 15, and then 20,000, I believe. So he should just be doing nothing but concentrating on those targets on the right. Good trap there. And
Even with the noisemaker.
He'll go for the inlines.
Oh,
So
a little early
that was
on
an aim
that.
at the inlines. And it's tough because you're just getting used to where the shots are. This is a very different game than the other games. He picked up a bunch of points for completing the left bank of drops. And going for that again. A flashing drop is worth 10,000. So he got
He's picking up quality points, though.
And he's actually got the double playfield, triple playfield scoring lit in the center, which would give him an instant 50,000 additional if he goes in there. So right now his job is to actually get the ball to the top playfield and land in that hole in the middle, which will give him triple playfield scoring and 20,000 on the spot.
You wouldn't go for a bonus
That could actually
multiplier?
win. No, I would not. At this point, with the triple playfield ready, and the Chris and Al are talking it out, and then they're going to go tell Matt what they think he should do. Danger here, of course, is you're not playing. You're kind of like taken out of your rhythm. FSPA right on it.
Now, they called for him, I think, to go for that multiplier, which he did. And then he got some bonus spins. Okay, I can't read exactly what the bonus is.
The other thing that's going on here is the left spinner is now worth 1,000 a spin, which to me is not enough. He doesn't have enough points right now, but he's closing in. If he shoots that next inline drop on the right, he'll probably win.
I think they're doing math, Bowen.
That's never a good thing. You never want to do math.
Yeah, and to answer the chat room's question, yes, they are definitely allowed to coach mid-ball.
Yes,
That's-
coaching is encouraged and nay required.
So this is definitely not your typical competitive format where there's no coaching allowed. The coaching, jeering, cheering is all encouraged.
Yeah, and he's pulled it off now. I think he has it on bonus at this point. Every stand-up target, every drop you hit is worth 10,000. The center shot would be 30,000. This is an amazing ball. Great comeback here for Matt Clark. And
Wow.
FSPA is
And
calling
that's
for a
it.
tilt.
That's
there it
it.
is. You know,
That's
Matt,
it.
if you want a middle finger, you should tilt right now. It's like, yeah, I'll tilt.
And
Matt Clark with the walk-off. Nice job.
Really good ball.
Matt, it's hard to walk away from a ball of Flash Gordon.
Yeah, and look at that score. That was the triple playfield effect. I mean, you see that huge amount that he earned by going into triple playfield scoring.
That was big points.
As it was, he picked it up off of stand-ups and drops. Matt Clark with an amazing ball 3 beats Jonathan Williams' excellent ball 2 on game 1 of Flash Gordon. It's a best of 3 here on Flash Gordon, and then we'll move on to game 3. We're here with Julie Schober, John Raplogel,
Hey.
Bone Cairns, and this is the league challenge between PPL and FSPA at Papa World headquarters just outside Pittsburgh. The home team is behind 1-0 after FSPA won on Metallica, and they're now on to Flash Gordon.
So they're talking about it. So Brian Smith is going for the PPL, and Bob Johnson is going for the FSPA. Tell us about Bob, Julie.
Well, we call him the Bob. I'm not really sure why.
It's not the hair.
Are there other Bobs?
No, just the Bob. Maybe that's why, because there's no other Bobs.
So he's not just a Bob.
Exactly. He plays in our Mighty Mike's league as well.
So I know you guys have 3 leagues there. Could you explain, like, location-wise, which leagues cover which areas?
Well, the Volleyball House League is just outside of Baltimore, and the Town Hall League is at the University of Maryland, which is east of D.C., and then the Mighty Mike's League is in Northern Virginia. But, a lot of people drive to play to 2 or 3 different leagues, especially people work all over the place in the area, so one league might be closer to home and one's close to work, so hey, might as well maximize your pinball time.
So what you're saying is you can actually play in the same group of people, just at different locations.
Exactly. Each
Okay.
league meets on a different night, so
Yeah.
you can get them all.
And the finals are all together, right, then? Or?
Nope. Each, like Mighty Mike's plays on Monday night, so their finals on a Monday night.
Okay, gotcha.
And this is Brian Smith loading up on Flash Gordon. One thing that's interesting with Flash Gordon is at the beginning of the ball, probably the most important shots are on the left flipper, those inline drop targets. And so the player often gets into a situation like Brian was here, where he had the ball on the right flipper.
And you have to get it over there.
And you have to try to get it over to the left flipper. And this is where skills like tap pass and the post transfer come in incredibly handy. Oh, that's trouble. Oh.
What was that skill called?
That was called weaseling your way out of danger. I don't know. That was excellent there. Bob has some very strong reaction skills.
Yeah, he's a fairly aggressive player, but then I think you pick up those reaction skills.
Yeah, he's also using what is a nice tactic for dealing with that right flipper if you can't tap or post transfer, which is backhanding it up the right ramp. Because that will send the ball to the top playfield. Oh, it's still in.
Oh, my goodness.
The Bob makes the save. No. You're not allowed to. You can't touch that ball.
That's just wrong.
Whoa!
That's what he gets.
That's what you get for messing with. ball 2 begins. Bob with the lead over Brian Smith. That hole in the middle is pretty dangerous, I was about to say. What are you supposed to do there? What?
It's Flash Gordon. You don't do anything.
Pick a different game to play next time.
Sorry, Flash Gordon. You have offended the PPL.
So are the drop targets on the top not really worth anything?
Completing 1, 2, 3 when they're flashing will light a collect bonus shots up on the upper playfield, but by and large they're not very valuable.
They are the way you get your 4 times bonus, though.
Right, so he just completed a bank there, and it was worth some points, but it wasn't worth like as many points as we saw from either of those others. This is going to go up to the top. Pretty neat design of that kicker.
Oh my goodness, that's 6 or 7 in a row.
Oh man!
That's how we roll in the FSPA.
And he made a nice shot to the inline drop targets and was rewarded, as you so often are by Flash Gordon, with a center drain that was unsavable. So another big deficit for the PPL on ball 3.
That is true, and this is a smaller deficit than Matt faced earlier. But on the other hand,
There's a ball in hand.
yeah, it's ball in hand for Bob. This is also, here's part of the learning. You notice that this is not a move that Brian was using earlier in the game, but now he's backhanding him up that right ramp. So you watch your opponents, see what they're doing, and then start to use what they're doing against them, especially if it's working. If it's not working, yeah, you probably shouldn't grab their strategy. Like,
Oh, that was a big nudge. Oh.
Yay.
I'm completely neutral on this, but I say that there was definitely a game malfunction involved.
Yeah, clearly we'll have to play that. We'll have to play another one, and we will have to play another one. We're going to game 3 again. It's best 2 out of 3 on Flash Gordon, and then we'll continue moving on here in the league challenge.
So both of these have gone to game 3 so far.
The unstoppable Bob.
I'm not really sure what's more intimidating, having the FSPA harassing them while they play or having Al Tomka standing right behind him.
There's definitely a fear factor involved with competing in one of these events, and the fear factor today is being within striking distance of 50 million Tomkas.
Why is it 50 million Tomkas?
Al is a very passionate player, and I'm sure he's just as passionate about his coaching duties. You can see him right now. He's actually taking the time to explain exactly what the strategies are.
And explaining them far enough away from opponent Jill's medicine that they're not going to tell him what to do.
Well, I think Al should go over there and explain to.
Or just give him invalid strategy, or just take that piece of paper and leave it on the playfield.
That's entirely possible.
He's already up to 38,000. So yeah, those targets at the top, they're not chicken feed. There must be like 5,000 or 10,000 a target. Yeah. So. Good start here for Gilles.
So it seems like when it's going to kick the ball towards the flippers, the lights actually go down, and when it's going to kick up, the lights go up.
That's
Am I
right.
getting that?
That's
Absolutely right. There they are going up there, so it's kicking it up top. And it just alternates. The first kick is down, and then it goes up, down through the ball.
Power in lane.
Oh, reflex kicked back into another inline drop.
Oh, this is
And,
actually becoming a really big ball really quickly.
Yeah, double play field is lit on that center hole. Another inline drop. This is 300,000 already. 200 on the board, another 100 coming in bonus for Gilles. And if he can get the double play field going, this could be.
Well, if he can get back up there and get the 4 times, this is probably a pro put-away ball, which is mean to say, but.
Oh, 25,000 for that target on the right. It's up top. Oh, I didn't get anything out of it there.
Oh, and this ball won't drain. This is like the longest play time in Flash Gordon I've ever seen.
Holy smokes. All right, so right here he should be putting it up the right ramp. And oh, through the hole. Tomka trying to take over here. Oh, it's another in lane. Oh my gosh. And he's not getting that collect.
I don't think he needs it. There's lots of points coming just
go.
for.
It's the ball. Oh my goodness.
And we just watched outlane in lane number 65 on this ball.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a mind of its own, but I like what it's thinking.
This is absolutely incredible.
Again.
Again, another in
In
lane.
lane number
How is this
66
possible?
on this ball.
Oh my goodness. Big bonus coming here.
That's. Oh boy. What?
700,000 on ball one as Amy steps up, and I don't know what to do here. Like if I'm playing this match and I'm player two, I'm just like.
You cry
Really?
a little bit, I
Really?
guess. You know.
Really?
She should just do the same thing, but get 68 times around.
That's right.
Yeah, she just needs 70 in lanes instead of 65 in lanes.
Instead, she gets one center.
Honestly, for me, sometimes if my opponent has a huge first ball, it takes the pressure off a little bit. Like if it's a low number and I'm trying so hard to beat it, but when it's that high, you can just take your time because you're not getting there anytime soon.
Right, and you just got to get a slow workman-like attitude and just go ahead and do it. And he starts really quickly with lighting the collect bonus up on the upper playfield.
Yeah, that would have been an absolute crush to have that on the last ball, but he's got some strong play, and that's what usually happens.
That's a normal prod.
That was an 80,000 ball. That was an okay ball. Oh my goodness.
So none of his bonus from that first ball carried over to the second ball.
That's correct. All right, 60 more of those and should be ready to go. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That's not even right.
That's not right. Or is it? Is it right?
No, that was
I
actually
believe-
left, but
I mean, the plus side is that's the end of the game there for Jill. Just an incredible ball
that was
one.
a great game.
Just under 800,000. Anyone would be satisfied with that. We're about to move on to game 3 after Amy's ball here.
And remind you about the Replay FX Festival. And Doug's trying to get us back to it.
It's really the pop bumpers more than anything else in this game that cause trouble. They are so closely positioned to the player, and anytime you hit one of those pop bumpers, the ball is in immediate danger one side or another. This is a great ball here by Amy. Coming down. You should tell Al about the way the.
I think Al missed that one.
It's a victory for FSPA.
Wow, they're going up 2-0, so that's pretty devastating.
They're up 2-0 on the heels of Bob Johnson and Jill Melanson, each of whom have won on Metallica and on Flash Gordon. 2-0 FSPA leads. We'll be going next to Indiana Jones, Walking Dead, and Tron. What?
So this is a completely different type of format, right? Do we have the rules here for this?
Yeah, so this is best 2 out of 3. Coaches will choose their team's representative for the first 2 games on Indiana Jones and Walking Dead. Whichever team's coach announces his team's representative on Indiana Jones first gets to announce second on Walking Dead. And if it goes to Tron for game 3, the Tron game will be 5 balls, split flipper, between the other 2 people, the people who weren't picked for the first 2 games. So
Well, I'm glad
so
they
there's-
kept it simple.
Yeah, no doubt, really. Yeah, this isn't complicated at all. But there is some interesting strategy on the coach's part here because you're trying to win 2 out of 3 games. You could send your best 2 players right off the bat for a full game of Indiana Jones and a full game of Walking Dead. Try to win 2-0. But if you can't win 2-0, you're going to be stuck playing Tron for it all.
Right, with
And
all
so
5 players.
So do you save your No, it's going to be the other 2 players who didn't play in the first 2 games. So if you choose your best players for Walking Dead and for Indiana Jones, you're setting yourself up for Tron to have a much poorer game. But if you use one of your best players on Tron, they only get 1 flipper.
Well,
So
I know both these coaches pretty well, and they're both. I'm sure they've both put some thought into what decisions they'll make.
All right, and Replay FX is coming. Pinburg is sold out at 700 players, the largest pinball tournament ever held. We held this July into August in the Pittsburgh Convention Center, the Lawrence Convention Center, for 100,000 square feet of pinball, video arcade, console, speakers, inflatables. You want to throw a wrecking ball at somebody and knock them off with a pugil stick, you can do that. But you can also play Super Mario. You can play
You could see a live disco
real
band.
Pac-Man. You can see some band called Dancing Queen. I don't know. It's going to be incredible. We're also joined by Angela Dropka. Thanks for being
Angela,
here.
Hey guys,
hi.
look at the panel tonight in the booth here. Got some legends up here.
We got it all.
We have someone who's trying to make themselves a legend by way of injury.
Sir, you were already a
The
legend on
chainsaw maniac.
You were already a legend on Reddit.
That's true. That's true. I already had my 15 minutes. Gosh, I wish I had used it in a different way.
You'll get another 15 minutes. You just never know when. That's the worst part of it.
We'll make a Lifetime movie for you, John.
It'll be- So the FSPA is up 2-0. And I think if they were able to get this point here, they'd pretty much be, dare I say, putting it away.
They're happy with 2-0. If they can win this round, they're up 3-0, and then only the Boston Red Sox can come back from that. We're playing Indianapolis 500, not Indiana Jones.
Indianapolis 500.
Indianapolis 500.
So this is a game that came out in 1995. This is a Bally title. It's primarily played in tournament situations by people going for multi-ball, and the way you do that is by shooting the left orbit to light the locks, and then you put it into the turbo, which is made from the upper right flipper, into over the yellow section into the lock shot. If you get 3 balls into the turbo, you're going to get a guaranteed multi-ball.
Yeah, so those loop shots, the left loop and the right loop, where it says light lock on the left, on the right light start speedway, those are critical shots in the game. So it's an unusual game in that there isn't very much up the center of the playfield for a player to get. They're constantly trying to make those side shots. Angela, have you played much of this?
I have not. This is something I need to learn. I know there's like a super secret skill shot, I think, for this.
The double super secret skill shot.
Gosh, I don't know about the double super secret skill shot. Bowen, what is the double super secret skill shot?
It's not actually double or super or secret. No, it's all of those. So normally the skill shot, he plunges the ball as Chris is doing here. Chris Stevens on the game representing Pittsburgh Pinball League, behind his coach Al Tomka, and behind his beard. It's a pretty good beard.
Yeah, I was remarking on that
impressive.
the other night. That beard is getting.
I think he's hiding a fist behind that beard.
Multi-ball begins. We'll talk about the super skill shot after the multi-ball's over here. This multi-ball, if you've played Scared Stiff, the rules are the same. Both ramps are lit for jackpots, and then they alternate. So if you make the left ramp, then you have to make the right ramp. The first jackpot you can make either way. You can also park a ball back into the lock, and it will sit there and wait for you for about 15 seconds and add value to the jackpot. So relocking balls during multi-ball is a key aspect to scoring big here.
Also, you can get an infinite add-a-ball during this multi-ball, which is a really cool feature.
Yeah, that was a very disappointing multi-ball for Chris. He's much better than that, but it's pretty quick to restart the multi-ball or get to the next level. He's already got the first lock lit for it. So back to that skill shot. The normal skill shot on the plunge is the left ramp. You can also shoot the right ramp instead, which to do that you have to hop the ball over from flipper to flipper. The right ramp will immediately start a round called Go for the Pole, which is normally one of the modes. You just get that mode instantly for free.
Do you find yourself ever doing that in tournament situation?
I like to go for the pole. Yes, I do.
Because actually, I usually don't, but that's interesting.
Well, one reason I do like to go for it is it counts as a mode for the center, so you won't get that. You're one more step closer to the 200 million award for finishing all modes.
Sure.
And you're more likely then to get the important modes like turbo boost and triple playfields. So it kicks one out for you. And also by making those ramps, you'll get used to the right ramp because you need it for multi-ball. So when I'm first stepping up to a game I'm unfamiliar with, I want to know how to make the most important shots. Nice shot there by Rob Windler-Cox. Holding a loop turbo, left loop to light the lock, and then an instant shot to lock it up. It's a bonus and an increasing bonus each time.
What would you say about the people who say, well, I'm going to just ignore the skill shot entirely and just go for the left orbit?
You fools! No.
Well, that's a very...
No, you're absolutely, you're totally right. That the very beginning of the game, I'm usually going for pole, but other than that, I'm going to shoot the left loop because if you can get the loop combo going, and Chris has already made a loop combo, Rob has already made a loop combo. If you can get good at that loop combo, you're golden. You're going to win. You're going to be able to just get into multi-ball whenever you darn well please. So it's around there, and then a quick fire into the lock.
And that's worth $12 million already.
This time, yep. Next one will be 14, and it just keeps going up. But more importantly than that, it gets you to this multi-ball. This is his second multi-ball. Rob Windler-Cox has not started a multi-ball yet. And the jackpots in this multi-ball are worth a lot. Now, that was interesting there. What was that?
So he decided to let both balls drain. I'm not used to that strategy.
So the reason for doing this is you then clear those balls out of the way. And, that was a rough bounce there.
Yeah, but he shot it way. It was very inaccurate on the upper shot, and right back to another loop turbo combo though.
Yes. So what do you think about this coaching? Do you like this? Is this better or worse than traditional play for you?
This is very, very valuable to me. This is how I learn. This is how I learn the best, is just watching all you guys play and what you do, because everybody has different strategy, different things they're going for. Very valuable.
Would the noise bother you, Angela, if you were playing?
When I'm playing competition, I need my headphones. That keeps me calm, because I can't play angry. If I start playing angry, I'm playing bad.
I agree with you there. I think a lot of us are that way, though. I'd say angry is bad.
I would love this. I would absolutely love this.
Well, you're a diva. You love all the attention and
That's
clapping and yelling for you.
It's sad but true. Very well. I live for the applause.
Yeah, I mean, I think in league play you're going to get a lot more noise in general, right? I mean, maybe not this much.
Beautiful moves here for Rob to keep this multi-ball alive. He's picked up a jackpot off the left ramp, so the right ramp's the only one. But yeah, you know, like here, you're gonna drain because somebody's yelling at you, or are you gonna enjoy it?
I'm actually enjoying the comments from Mahesh on the sidelines. He's changing the lyrics of popular songs to pinball-related lyrics.
I've tried to ignore those, but
What's he doing? I haven't heard some of them.
yeah.
I think he did a Chingy song, and
Oh, so he's in the lead now.
Yeah, there's not much in it here so far, because what he really needs to do here is start a mode. Great choice. And this is going to be the go for the pole mode, which is the right ramp. You also get to choose an award here, and cashing out 15 million or 20 million is usually the way to go. That's a good choice. You're just trying to cash points. Push.
Always be cashing.
Yep, that's the Bowden
Ism.
doctrine.
About it.
Oh, and a big shot there. Another loop turbo. If you can get into another multi-ball and score a couple jackpots, you can put it away. So if Rob wins, this will be a little bit more about the not errors, and that's the same way that Chris trained out of multi-ball.
Right.
It'll be about the success that Rob had in his multi-ball compared to Chris. But Chris knows what he's got to get. He's got to get 60. He's got dueling drivers ready. That's a mode that can be worth $50 million by itself.
Gosh, so
he doesn't have very much progress towards multi-ball, so unless he's going to get it from loop combos, he's probably his best bet is to get it from a mode. So if I were him right here, I would take the super skill shot, try to go for the pole and get out that way, then start dueling drivers.
yeah, because now that he's done 2 multi-balls, I think he's going to need to make 2 shots to the left orbit.
Yeah, it's actually 3. 1 right now to light the first lock, and then it'll be 2 additional shots to light the second lock, all of which are out of control. If you can put all 3 of those into the lock, then great, but that's where he's going. He's got the loop combo, so if he's good with this loop combo, that was 1/3 of the deficit right there, 1 shot.
Right. 2 more times like that, he won't even need to get to the multi-ball.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice save.
Beautiful, beautiful. Right in the loop. And there's 20. No, 18.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I can't do 16 plus 2.
So he doesn't need the multi-ball here. He just needs a loop combo.
Oh. And
That was a
Right.
big save.
There it is. If this goes in. Boom!
Very nice.
Oh, beautiful
On
play
CDs.
by Chris Davids. Wow. Wow.
Fear of the beard. Oh, my goodness
A
gracious.
walk-off
It's all the
multi-ball.
beard.
Oh, that was
The
pretty.
power of the beard.
That was pretty. That was extremely pretty. And really difficult. You know, and as we saw Rob lost his ball on that same shot, and the timing difference between those shots is like 1/10 of a second. There's very little
Very
difference
nice.
there. But it's a great job by Chris Stevens. That puts PPL up 1-0 in this round. They're going to move on to Walking Dead, the newest Stern machine, for Game 2.
So we just got this machine here at Papa. Trent from Tilt Amusements dropped it off for us. And there's Tilt Amusements right there on the screen. You can check it out, and you can order a new Stern pinball machine from Trent.
Yeah, Trent is a amazingly reputable dealer and friend to pinball. He's the largest Stern distributor in the world at this point with the amount of business he does all over. And he'll drive anywhere, it seems.
The
I thi-
Trentmobile.
I think he actually likes driving to go to the pinball events, though. He's probably actually, I shouldn't say probably. He is the biggest traveling pinball tournament person in the world as well.
Yeah, we've learned through Josh Sharp and the IFPA that if Trent could clone himself, the second level Trent of just the events that he doesn't include in his IFPA profile would be in the top 30 or top 50 worldwide.
Trent 2.
That's a
Trent
scary
2.
thought.
Trent 3 is in the top.
Trentar and
Trent
Trent 2.
3 is in the top 100. Trent 4 is in the top 250.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Trent 5 just competes in classics.
There's
Now you're getting silly. Trent 5,
Yeah.
come on.
so what we just
Draw the
saw
line at 4.
there was one of the biggest things people don't like about The Walking Dead is she made a shot up the center, it grabbed off the magnet, and then it just dropped it down the middle. She never really had a chance at saving that.
No, I agree and I don't. I agree that it's very difficult to save that ball. I don't agree that it was unsavable. But to save that ball, you'd have to basically shake the crap out of the game and do a desperation save, which you can do. You can get a 1 or 2 warning save by shoving the machine to left or right to get your flipper in the way of that ball path.
When I first played The Walking Dead, it was when Aces first got it, and that machine is very, very drainy. And everyone was saying, oh, they hated it, and I didn't want to listen to them, but then I played it, and I can see what they were talking about. But then that first day, Roy and I just attacked and problem shoot the drain out of the pops. And when we got to Expo, all that was worth it. And I don't think the machines at Expo were as drainy as the one that
Yeah,
Aces
this area
I
right here,
agree.
these bumpers and then the ball
They
coming
played a
out of
lot
those
nicer.
bumpers. And what happens? I mean, what do you do about it?
I did a slap to on the cabinet, a little bit further than halfway up, right as it's coming out of there, and it seems to help every time.
That's great.
Not on all machines, but it does help somewhat.
And this is something. Well, that was ridiculous.
Oh, that's not
Ludicrous.
how it typically
you're
goes.
not going to
but
do anything about that one.
That was brutal.
But that's something that your push of the machine is when the ball is way up there. It's not something a lot of people think of, but it's incredibly valuable. So how do you learn those kinds of things? And I mean, took me. I mean, I was playing pinball 15 years before I ever did anything like that.
I actually learned some of that stuff when I split flipper a lot with the A players, because you can only learn so much from watching them. But when you're up there split flippering with them, it's kind of like you're seeing stuff you can't see from standing 3 feet behind them.
So would you say you're in their brain?
In their brains, yes.
Oh, we had to go there, didn't we?
You did.
Sorry.
You know what vegetarian zombies eat, right?
What's that?
Grains.
You know what happened at the end of that ball? Drains.
Drains.
Oh, folks, we could do it all night. You'll only see action quite
Come on,
like
John,
this
one
on
more,
Papa
one more.
TV. Oh.
If you get it on the track, it's trains. All right, that's it. Last one.
Well, then they're the zombies' favorite birds. Crane.
Grains. John, you're losing. Come on, me and Boner. It looks like 3-0 over here with the puns.
I think we used
You
them
know what
all
my
up.
favorite
We used
tool
them
is?
all up.
A chainsaw.
And John wins
John
with
wins.
that one. 10 points. For the
Meanwhile,
chainsaw reference.
Amy Cavell almost to the prison multi-ball. One more shot to the center will do it for her. And there it
Oh,
is.
nice.
Beautiful job.
So now she's going to have to
Good
put some
job,
points on
Amy.
the board.
This is a huge.
And you can hear the crowd. They're chanting. I can't make it out.
They're chanting brains.
Yeah.
Brains.
Multi-ball. Multi-kill. Multi-kill. So this is a very valuable multi-ball. She's already up over 13 million, having been, I think, they were each around 4 or 5 million before this. So this puts a huge bridge between her and Jonathan, and this would be it. They'd win this game 2-0 if she wins here.
Oh,
Tough break there, but great job getting the multi-ball by Amy
Okay, so
Cavell.
she sets it up.
Amy Cavell Murphy with 16 million, and
It's not a huge score, but it's a lot more than 3 million. So
this is going to be difficult here. And it looks like FSPA is going with their first substitution.
oh.
It's Kevin Stone taking over for Jonathan Williams.
look at that. Kevin Stone. Kevin is the director of the Free State Pinball Open, I believe.
Not to be biased at all, but Kevin
Fairfax Pinball Open, that's right.
He did tell me he was trying to stay awake earlier tonight, so I'm hoping he's getting sleepier as the evening goes on.
He wants to have some sweet dreams. Dreams.
Drains.
Let's call this
the
slant
FSPA
rhyme.
is calling.
Oh, look what has been started.
We created a monster. Puntastic monster.
Oh, ball save. Oh, he gets it back with the ball save.
Oh, there was no nervousness right there. He was like, I got it. I got this.
We're watching Kevin Stone trying to chase down Amy Cavell Murphy here at the League Challenge, Pittsburgh versus FSPA. And we've got.
Oh, that was a bad.
2 warnings. Oh!
That was a huge move he put on the machine. I can't believe it did not drain.
He just hit a 3 million
Until-
shot there as well. Up to 11 already. He's still got a long way to go to get to
No, actually he's
the
almost
ball,
there.
but what he should do here is he should go for that left
Bicycle
ramp, get
girl.
some bicycle girl points. There's a million there. 14.
It gave him double credit on that.
Huh? it. That's $2.5 million extra for the. Oh, it's actually an extra ball. Now, sometimes in competition play, the extra ball is worth points, but here it is worth an actual extra ball.
And I think that's.
Oh, you bad tilt there. What did we? The score. Amy's score to beat was 16 million. That was a big tilt there, and
Nice
now we
ball.
have some bit of controversy about whether he can play the extra ball or not. I think we're going to have to go to the ruling of our official on this one.
I don't think he should be allowed to play that extra ball. I mean, I think it's, obviously this is a tournament situation.
So
and
here's what happens.
I listen to everything John says.
Here's what happens. It is a play out.
Never disagree with
It
John.
is a play on, but it's not a play on for Kevin. Kevin was only a substitute for one ball. So that means Jonathan will be back on the machine trying to chase down that remaining $2 million from 14 up to 16. And he gets into prison multi-ball.
That's
Started
gonna
with
do
prison
it.
multi-ball
That's
is
gonna
enough to
do
do it. That's the win for the FSPA. A controversial win a little bit here. But we will be going to game 3 again.
That's what makes
Game
it exciting.
3 for the third
That's what makes
time.
it exciting.
So this is going to be on Tron. We're going to get to see the 5-ball action. Doug Polka, is that set up for 5 balls already? It is. Okay. Well, congratulations to Jonathan. That was some clutch play and another good substitution by the FSPA. I remember last time when this challenge happened, we were always impressed with the quality of their substitution work and what happened when they did it. This seems to be no exception to that rule. So Tron Legacy. Tron came out in 2009 or 2010, I'm not sure. And it's a Stern Pinball.
This is a very strong flow game in that there are lots of combos and shots to make back and forth. It's actually a really interesting game to see them play split because it really requires both players to kind of know
what they're going to do,
where they're going before they go there.
Yeah.
I find it harder to play split on games like Tron. This is a fast game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times where you're not going to be using a control technique on Tron. You're just going to be actually live shooting it away. At least I find that I do.
Yeah.
And they get a ball save, so they're going to come back into the action. So are they going to go for end-of-the-line combos here? I wonder. And no, it looks like they're actually going to go trying to get some light cycle action here. Trying to get to their light cycle multi-ball.
So there's the yellow electronic is one of the best games for telling the player what's available to them by colors. The yellow lights you see are the light cycle shots. Making enough of them will light a yellow light at the saucer on the right side to start multi-ball, the light cycle multi-ball. There's also a green shot marked Quora. Shooting that shot 5 times will light the green Quora multi-ball on the right side. And shooting the center shot will lead to the blue recognizer multi-ball. Oh, and that looked like it could have been a ball save there.
That
it was very close.
That was right on the edge. Yeah.
All right, so not much happened there.
Scores are pretty equal.
At least nobody's down. Ovechkin here and Bob. And these were the 2 players responsible for winning the first 2 games as well. They each won on Metallica and they each won on Flash Gordon to win games 1 and 2 for FSPA.
Yeah, but they have never won a Stanley Cup.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe they have a pinball tournament where they say the winner of this gets the Cup of Stanley. Oh, jeez. Holy mackerel. Oh. And there's a place where playing splits
it's hard to nudge that.
makes things challenging that otherwise would not have been. that if either of them had been playing the game by themselves, they would have saved that ball on the right, seeing it in danger and giving it the right shove on the side. But it's almost like neither of them wanting to make that shove because they're not sure the other player is going to go along with it. You can still make those shoves. You just got to make them even harder.
I think they made a great reactionary move to the first ball returning to the center, so they were probably still a little bit recovering from that reactionary move.
I totally agree with you. And that was Bob's reaction time. No, it was whoever it was. They lost.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. That was it. There was a nudge there, and that without that nudge, that would not have been saved.
Oh, that noisemaker at the. They're having trouble getting things going.
I can't seem to get control of the ball.
Hey, Coach, get in there and intimidate them a little bit, will you?
Next tournament, I'm bringing an air horn.
Coach Joe Schober.
Coach Schober has decided to just block the camera with his view instead of working on the other team.
Toasty.
Oh,
my goodness.
Very pretty there.
They treated that like a rookie boxer.
So the other thing about split flipper is shot making is just way more difficult, I feel, because you're physically not standing in the place you're used to standing.
Wow.
And getting used to that, I don't know why, it throws off my timing really badly.
I think I would agree. Usually there's one person shooting one. I'm usually the person feeding the ball to the other person so they can make the shot.
You get the assists, though, right?
I get the assist. Yes.
Well, that's still worth the same amount of points.
This is ball 3 of Game 3 on Tron. The winner of this game will take the victory in this round, and then we will be moving on to other games next.
They're currently.
I know, and that's they did take the lead, but it's such a small lead that
it's
it
not
really
gonna be high enough.
there really isn't much in it here. One skill shot will do this for PPL, and they might even have it just on the bonus, to be honest. But it's clutch here. PPL needs this win. They're down 2-0 in the match. This will put them back to 2-1 if they can win here. The next round will be single ball games on all 7 machines, which I'm sure is wonderful for Doug, our producer and live stream manager. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Roy. Welcome to watching the broadcast.
We've also crossed over the 100,000 view mark on Twitch with this broadcast. And we'd just like to thank you for the support of PAPAtv. Spread the word around. If you like what you see and you want more of it, tell more people about it. This is going to be a victory here for PPL. They will now be down 2-1.
Just to answer the question in the chat, if they are urethane flipper rubbers, we don't know because we didn't do any special setup on this machine. So I'd say whatever the stock was on there, I'm going to assume that the same is still on there.
Oh, and I've just been reminded that this is a 5-ball game. Oh man, I thought it was over.
It's not over,
That's
folks.
right.
But wait, we sold you the whole seat, but you only need the edge. There's 2 more balls.
Balls everywhere. Balls are popping. That is true. It's still up for it. There's a significant lead here for PPL. They're up by 1.7 million. But that lead is about to evaporate, it seems. One more shot to any yellow shot for light cycle, and that will be a lit multi-ball that could really pay off. I'd be surprised if both teams don't get light cycle at some point here. They should get it.
The one thing I have noticed is that nobody's really making the Quora shot. So 3 balls and I think 0 shots to the Quora.
These guys picked off 1 shot to the Quora. I don't remember
Okay.
when exactly it was, but The yellow light on Cora isn't on, so they must have got it at least once. And so did PPL, but it's so difficult to make shots on a really tight game when you've got only one half and you're standing over these weird sides. And
it's really difficult. Also, they lost their last ball because the ball came quickly down the side and hit the top right of the slingshot at the perfect angle to go out the out lane. And it's really hard to know exactly what the trajectory of that ball is going to be when it hits the slingshot. So
there's a shot there. That's one more for Light Cycle. Light Cycle will be lit now. I think, no?
One more.
I don't know. I can't keep track of this stuff.
okay, that's their gem shot.
Oh, and look at that. Did you see that?
No flip. Oh, nice save.
But it was a slide save from the right side player from
Matt Clark.
from Matt, pushing the game with his right hand to bring the flipper into the position where it would then hit the ball. Really impressive on the spot, well timed too, and you gotta hit it with softness too. You can't just shove it, or you're going to end up tilting and probably not even saving that same ball.
I got to say, I don't think there was too much softness involved with that move. That was
It was smooth. It was
smooth, yeah, but not soft.
All right.
Trust me, I understand the difference between smooth and soft.
So it was hard and smooth. All right, but that was the first multi-ball, and this puts pressure on FSPA here.
Well, this is ball 5 anyway.
Jill Melanson and Bob Johnson. This is actually the last ball now.
We have finally, they're averaging just over 1 million points per ball. So,
and what they need is that. That shot lights the Light Cycle multi-ball, and then they're trying to pass it over and bounce it into that multi-ball start. So that was probably a mistake there to flip away when he could have passed that ball over from left.
So
there it is, shot by Gilles. Starts Light Cycle multi-ball, and they've got $3.5 million to chase. What do you do during this multi-ball? Where are the points?
what do I do during this multi-ball? Bo and I will almost always choose to ignore this multi-ball and just play for getting my Cora multi-ball lit.
Okay, that's makes sense. And there's a Cora shot. Oh, end of line jackpot. The scoring is doubled right now.
And that was a big time for it. So all these jackpots are doubled.
So the end of line jackpot they picked up was 500,000, became $1 million.
And they have moved into the lead.
So what do you do during this multi-ball bowling?
I guess it really depends to me. What are we going for? Are we trying for small points? I will advance towards the Cora multi-ball, but mainly because I have to shoot that anyway. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. I like making combos, and combos like they just made there tend to be very valuable, especially if then you can put it in for an end of line, which is to put it in the saucer after making a side ramp. So actually, if I'm playing that multi-ball, I'm trying to get as many of those combos as I can during the multi-ball. Cash out points from the combos. Oh, and a bit of a fumble, but boy, the multi-ball and the multiplier gives them a chance to win here.
Yeah, they
13.2, and this puts PPL in a really tough spot.
They're going to have to take some time to figure out their strategy. It's not a lot of points, but
so I'll tell you,
got to get there.
Where would you go here? What's available to them?
Ooh. Straight for an end of the line combo, depending on how you feel about it. I don't know, Bowen.
I'm thinking disc multi-ball.
Recognizer.
Yeah,
Okay.
recognizer right up the middle. It's going to take several shots. They could use the status report to figure out exactly how many they need. I think it's probably like 5. So you'd have to take 5 shots at that center, which are, you're rolling the dice on those. But
They didn't check.
if you get into the multi-ball, you're going to win. And that is whatever the heck that is. I don't know what that is. What was that? Some kind of arrow. Oh, no!
They're not getting there.
Oh.
This is a devastating situation for the PPL. And all the FSPA players are on their feet. They're excited. They sense
Close
blood in the
game.
water
All the way through.
or brains in the head. They are ready to take it down.
Blood. FSPA now leads 3-0.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm going to sign off.
Thanks so much, Angela. We're glad you're here, and
Awesome. Good to be
thanks
here.
for your insights, and we'll see you again soon.
No problem. I think Jake's coming up.
Okay, so this round, round 4, is 7 one-ball games. No player may compete on more than 2 games in this round. Otherwise, any player can be selected for any game for any reason. We're here just outside Pittsburgh at Papa World headquarters for the league challenge between Pittsburgh Pinball League and the Free State Pinball Association of the Metro DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And Replay FX is coming this summer. Please tell everyone. We already know, if you're into pinball, you already know about this. We're gonna try to make the biggest gaming convention basically ever. And welcome.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? Jake Peterson here from the Free State Pinball Association. Just wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody for round 4 here, and it looks like we're going to do a single ball 7-game round. Is that
Yeah,
right?
This is a best of 7 inside the best of 7.
Good. I've got a lot of
So-
opinions on everything, so I'm going to get to cover all my bases here. I'm very happy to have this
Beautiful,
opportunity.
beautiful. And we've now seen. We haven't seen Whodunit and Wizard of Oz. We'll be seeing them shortly. FSPA going for the sweep. Now, you'd have to go for the super sweep if you go for 4-0 in this round to make a 4-0.
Yeah, we feel that, I mean, it's really important to not just win, but to demoralize. It's kind of one of our core competencies of the whole group in general. We're very poor sportsmen, and we like to carry that through in everything we do.
I know, man. It's ridiculous. What the hell?
Well, hey, if you're going to win, enjoy it. That's what I say.
Yeah, you barely. We weren't even sure you're going to bring the trophy.
That trophy has made the rounds. It actually spent a little bit of time in my home. If you remember, I was one of the fortunate individuals to be in the League Challenge last year. Very blessed to have that opportunity.
Yep.
And much like the Stanley Cup, it kind of made its rounds throughout the team, and we all got to spend some time with it.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a little worried about PPL here. They're down 3-0, and Coach Al Tompkins has resorted to eating pizza as a motivational option.
Well, I think everything Al does is inspiring.
Now, there may be some chemical warfare involved. Is that the plan?
That's been going on since Al walked in the door, I think, actually.
Maybe he hasn't correctly told everyone that they need to crush it.
He's crushing some pizza right now, I know that much.
Who we got here on Flash Gordon for this first game?
We've got Bob over here. Bob's a really fantastic player, and more importantly, or not more importantly, but also Bob has an amazing collection. Especially like 80s and 90s era, one of the most fantastic collections in our whole entire region. He really does a fantastic job, and actually our league party is being hosted this season at his house.
Oh, yeah. What, any highlights of his collection?
Well, for me, the highlight of his collection is Genesis, but that's because I'm a weirdo.
There's nothing too weird about that. That's a solid freaking game.
I love it. I love it so much. But his Circus Voltaire is gorgeous. I love going over and being able to play that. It's one of the few in the area. And he also has a whole room of 70s, early 80s wide bodies pretty much that's really fun to play on too.
Wow.
Really gorgeous collection.
That's just outstanding in the pinball community to have people willing to open their home like that, because it's a ton of effort to get anything like that ready to go.
Yes, I don't know how he does it. So we kind of skipped over Flash there, but what would be your one-ball strategy on Flash? Would it change at all?
Oh, it's over already.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I'm trying to hurry up here.
Holy crap. My one-ball strategy on Flash Gordon would be to avoid the house ball, which we saw there from Matt Clark for the loss.
Step one.
But easier said than done, right?
Yeah, I suppose
but
so.
The other half of that would be to try to get at least a couple of inline drops to secure a score. Each inline drop is worth points as well as a multiplier, so it would actually be more about the points than about the multiplier. You're not going to get the drop targets completed any reliably anyway. So I wouldn't go for that unless you're already comfortable that you got a ball.
Sure, that makes sense.
In fact, when Flash Gordon was in the Classics a year or two ago, I found myself playing poorly on it, but then turned it around by just saying, all right, I'm abandoning everything. I'm just going to shoot the drop target bank.
Okay.
Because if you can finish them, the target behind is 25,000 per hit.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You just cram 25,000 until the game tells you you lose.
As long as that's a safe return, that sounds like a solid strategy.
And you can get a solid 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 game out of it. More of a guaranteed game instead of a potentially high score, but a potential zilch score. And in this type of match play, avoiding the zilch is almost more important than putting up a big game.
At least, yeah, absolutely.
And now we're on Whodunit. What do you think? What should we go here?
Me personally, depending on how warm people are on the game, I might start just trying to run a couple mystery slots and see what happens. It's almost a, try your luck type of scenario, and that skill shot's going to become even more crucial than normal here.
Yeah, and the skill shot can be set for. You can get points. You can light the roulette. If the game is set in competition mode, as I think it is, both the roulette and the slots are fixed. In particular, the roulette, you lose automatically the first roulette. So it almost actually takes it out of the game because you're not going to really try to go for it twice.
But when I have a question that if anybody can answer, you can. When you're trying to figure out who done it, are there any tells or anything like that? How do you actually figure out who
You're absolutely
done
right.
it?
So the easiest key with whodunit is that it's either the person who's talking or the person they're talking about. That's it.
Okay. So you'd recommend first round? Oh, I'm sorry.
When someone talks, you got to know who they're talking about. And then whoever it is, it's either them or more likely than not, it's the person they're talking about because it basically randomly picks someone. And that means you got 3 out of 4 who are alive, 1 of whom is going to lie, and 3 of whom are going to tell the truth. So whoever they're talking about, it's 75% chance that that's the person who did it, and a 25% chance that it's the person they're talking about. But at least you should only have it down to 2 suspects right away. Now this is a good strategy here by Rob Whitler-Cox. He is trying to get base and multi-ball. And he lost a little bit of points there by not flipping over to get the outlane, but overall that's going to be pretty easily beatable.
Would you call the whodunit a modern example of the Monty Hall principle in real life action?
It's not the Monty Hall problem.
It's close to it, though, right?
It is not. No, it is not.
I mean, you can take the person you're talking about, you're talking to, or the person you're talking about. So,
well, it's not the Monty Hall problem because those are not equally likely from the very beginning. So anyway, whatever.
Okay.
Fine, it's the Monty Hall problem. Go away.
So you would recommend then first move, ask, do a further interrogation.
Whoever asks, you just say whoever they're talking about, they did it.
So interrogate one and then solve.
So this is interesting here. Choosing more evidence will give him some points. That was actually probably a mistake there. And this is a total random guess here. It's always the butler. The butler did it.
I think Victoria did it.
No way. Victoria has an alibi.
Oh, sorry. She has an alibi.
You do get some points for this. You get 20 mil. I forgot about that. And realistically, he doesn't need. Oh, jeez, Louise.
I mean,
here, take some of that. Yeah, take some of that.
What if the alibi was
This is
a lie?
points here. This is the game. That's 10 million. That's game. FSPA, PPL wins over FSPA. It's 1 game each.
So 1 game apiece. There's 5 more games to go in this round. The first team that gets to 4 games takes it down. So
1 game each. And remember, if FSPA wins this round, that's it. They sweep. I don't even know what we'll do at that point. I suppose we'll just celebrate or stop or something.
I know I'll be celebrating.
I don't know. I mean, we never expected it to come down into a 4-round match.
Well, speak for yourself, John.
Well, last year we did this, and it went all 7 rounds to the very last game in the final round.
All right, it's yeah. So we'll see. I mean, maybe FSPA will pull this off in a.
I mean, yeah, this would be a crushing defeat for the PPL, and We would have to really acknowledge whether PPL still continues to deserve to exist afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, that Chris Stevens shirt is telling here, they're on their last life.
Well, personally, I hope the PPL actually pulls this round out. I want to, in the spirit of good competition, I want to see this go to 7 rounds again like it was last year, because it was a barn burner and it was so exciting. We had a great time, and the drama of that 7th game was just nail biting.
All right, the all important Wizard of Oz skill shot coming here.
With one
This
ball.
skill shot could be the difference. Here's a chance to hit the witch for 5,000 points
there you go.
and a spin. and a witch hurry up. So Chris knows the rules of this game very well. He knows what to go for. Unlike probably everyone else, I don't know what to go for. If I were him, I'm going to send the ball. I'm going to take my locks. I'm going to try to get rainbow. Actually, because if I can get rainbow and I can get into a munchkin round, I can secure a victory right away.
Really, even with a 1-ball game?
The other thing I can do here is I can take off a haunted round by now this is big too. Chris gets a 2nd skill shot because he locked a ball. So he could kick off another 6,000 it is for the 2nd time by hitting the witch right here. Got it. 6,000 and another witch hurry up immediately. This is a very big play.
He missed that one.
Yeah, actually, I mean, he hit it, just didn't register. I think actually you have to hit it twice on the 2nd go to have it count. The other thing that happens when you hit the witch hurry up is you actually get to kick off the witch from that left flipper into the rainbow targets. So people when this game came out said they see the R and A and the rainbow and they're like sideways, like, oh, I can't even hit those. Well, guess what? You're not supposed to hit them from the flippers at the base. You're supposed to hit them off the witch. So if you bank off the witch, you can hit the R and the A and the I. You see, he got rain spelled before he got the much easier letters. 3rd skill shot for. And he's got a fake out multi-ball here. This is probably something he's got to deal with. That should continue play for him, but actually he might be in trouble now if he locked that up. Yeah, he locked the other ball.
No.
This is not a malfunction. Al Tomka arguing, but no. That was absolutely the correct behavior of the machine at the time.
The machine acted correctly.
Chris
Your timing was off.
Chris should not have locked
Chris
that second, relocked that 2nd ball. If the other ball had drained first, it would have continued play.
That's unfortunate, but
we call that getting fireballed.
I was going to say 4 million BC.
Yeah.
And Hendricks makes the rule of play on.
Yeah, that was clearly an unfair ruling against the PPL. I don't know what he's got it in for them.
I think pretty much whatever happens here, the ruling from Pete is going to be to play on. Like if somebody comes up and just knocks a player out, play on.
Well, I've got a steel chair under the chairs that I'm going to bring out later.
Is there bourbon involved in some of these decisions? I know that I was offered bourbon by one of the FSPA players, so hopefully that's equal opportunity bourbon. We got Rob Winkler-Cox here, and he's got quite a bit of ground to mat. That was 26,000 by Chris. Really solid, considering you've only got one ball.
Yeah, but I have a lot of confidence in Rob. He's a really fantastic FSPA player and one of the top qualifiers in B Division of PAPA this year, actually.
Nice. And because the balls are all in the lock, this is where Chris playing his first player had an advantage. And FSPA could have chosen to play first, but they didn't. He did not get an opportunity for an additional skill shot as Chris did. And down the middle, that's it. It's 2 games to 1.
I don't think there's much
in this round for Chris. Really smart strategic play by Chris, taking sort of the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that was simple to get and relatively guaranteed, and just playing it well.
That's the great thing about Wizard of Oz. If you shoot right, it'll just keep giving you more and more opportunities, and everything kind of happens fortuitously. But it's tough to string those things together. Really nice play by him.
Yeah, Chris is undefeated tonight. He's 3-0 in the rounds, but it's been difficult for the rest of the crew from PPL holding it up, especially against Bob Johnson and Gillis, who are both undefeated at 4-0.
They came to play tonight.
4-0. Bob is 4-0, and Gillis 3-0.
Jill did really well in B Division this year as well. Those are two of our top qualifiers, so we're really happy to see him in the challenge today.
Hey, wait a minute. You got a bunch of ringers.
We do. We're all
I see how
ringers.
this works.
You lost the opening matches on purpose. So, oh wait, you won the opening matches? Oh, okay. Oh.
Our strategy was to win, 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 and that's what's happening.
Always be winning.
Gosh, I like that strategy.
Yeah.
That's a really good strategy.
We talked about it for a long time. We weighed a lot of different options, and that's what we came up with.
I like this. I like this choice. Now we've got Amy Cavell Murthy. I didn't quite catch who the FSPA opponent is, so we'll see that shortly. And Amy won. Amy nearly won earlier on this game in that sort of controversial extra ball play it out moment. Oh.
Oh, and that noisemaker might have come at the inopportune moment.
Well, when that right ramp on Walking Dead gives it back to you,
Yeah,
know,
there's
you're
not
kind
much-
of at the mercy of the machine.
Yeah, it's sort of like its own noisemaker at that
Yes.
point.
I've had a lot of opportunity to spend some time with The Walking Dead here, and it's still, even though we're on, I guess, our third version of the software right now, I think that'll come back. It's fine.
Oh, my
big
goodness.
ball save.
That was late. That was very late.
Huge.
Right on time.
Huge ball save for, and
Once again, I think there's definitely some machine malfunctions going on tonight that just haven't been addressed.
no, it's only going for prison. Prison is, it's good and all, but
No, that's
not
not-
gonna
shouldn't
need
be the
that. That's not where
strategy
the
here.
point should be.
Right.
It should just
Yeah.
be. It should basically be just picking off walkers. Oh!
Oh, and you're right, Bowen, because that's going to cost FSPA that round.
Yeah, definitely. I
It's
didn't-
now 3-1.
3-1 in favor of PPL in a must-win round. I mean, they're all must-win rounds for them. Amy wins.
They're in the playoffs.
You know, I told John to be sure to cancel out that little video mode that comes after you get the ball on the magnet, because that'll actually give it a magnet throw. But the magnet throw threw it right down the middle, so my advice was terrible.
Well, he threw the match then. Or the magnet did anyway. Game 5, Metallica. And, it's they've only used each player once, I think, at this point. Both, at least for PPL. So if they want to jam it, I mean, I got to say, if I'm PPL, I'm picking Chris Stevens here for Metallica.
Oh, gosh.
His skill on Metallica is very high, and gives them an opportunity to go. No, but they're going with Brian Smith.
So I'm assuming the rules of player choice are all 4 players have to play, and then you can cycle in a player a second time.
The only rule in this round is that players can only play twice.
Aha.
So if you wanted to, you could have sent your big gun for the first 2 games, but that didn't happen.
I don't mind this choice then, in that case, because, this way you're always saving your big gun for...
Yeah, Chris will either be playing Tron or Indy 500, and I think he's pretty good at those.
He's good at all 3 of these, so I don't think there's too much to... That being said, I'm not giving this this is not a free pass for the PPL. They need to close this up as soon as they can if they want to keep this match alive.
Yeah, especially since we have Kevin Stone, or I'm sorry, not Kevin Stone, but Bob, who has several Sterns as well. He has a Tron LE in his
The
basement.
Bob.
So.
Oh, and it's a
That's-
bit of a quick one out for
That
there
was
for
a little bit of a player.
Okay.
Brian. He has 476,620, but the skill shot is 250. There's a super skill for 750. It's I've seen worse than this. I've done worse than this.
This reminds me of a scenario I had last year on Scorpion, I believe, where basically I had to plunge and not sneeze and fall over, and I had the win. And it feels good to walk up with that, but at the same time, you don't get a chance to show your opportunity or your skill here. So
Yeah, my usual mentality if I walk up to something like this is that I'm behind by 20 million. And I'm just playing my normal game. So that was double skill, and that's it. He actually made the points right off the skill shot, and it's over. 3-2 now. FSPA leads.
I'd say that was a very good
Not FSPA,
example of
PPL
skill.
leads 3-2.
So we have to make a big push here in the FSPA. We got to win out both of these last 2 games to be able to take this round.
So once again, we're here at Carnegie, Pennsylvania, watching the showdown between the FSPA and the Pittsburgh Pinball League. And we have Ron coming up here. This is the 4th round. Right now, the FSPA is beating PPL 3 matches to 0, and right now the PPL is up 3-2 in this current 4th match.
And that's single ball, all 7 games, heads up matches. Looking back to the booth here for a little bit of advisement.
Hey, who into what now?
There's confusion everywhere.
Oh, we've got an issue with the cameras.
That's okay.
Okay.
I've been working on some camera systems myself for the Free State Pinball Association, and camera issues are basically my lifeblood at this point. If I'm not aiming a camera, I'm figuring out why the signal's not coming in, and the fact that the PAPA organization here has these cameras as tight as they do is quite amazing. They really have an excellent setup. I've had the opportunity to talk with John, who's now on top of a chair, hovering over Tron, and manually pushing buttons about the configuration a little bit. And
Yeah, you wonder if. I mean, it's amazing that all of this works at all.
I know.
When you look at how much is in it, there's hundreds of feet of HDMI cable running above the games. If you look behind the booth here, there's basically a huge matrix of the feed-in cabling and what goes where and how it goes, and there's just so many different ways this can fail.
Yeah, it looks like a shrine to the flying spaghetti monster back here in some respects.
It gives me a lot of respect for like live football broadcasts when you think about like just how much crap goes into something broadcast live. It's remarkable, and we're thankful to all the backers to the PAPAtv Kickstarter project that made this possible, and we're going to continue to broadcast as many of these events as we can.
Yeah, the system's set up now.
Including PAPA World Championships in March here in Pittsburgh, followed by some of the circuit events. Actually, it'll be back-to-back weekends in March for Louisville Arcade Expo, and then for PAPA World Championships, both broadcast live. And then, of course, in the summer, put on a little bit of a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I heard something. I heard some rumblings, but it seemed like not a big deal.
700 games, 700 players, 700 games.
Sold out in basically 24 hours, correct?
Sold out the largest pinball tournament ever to be held in a day. And then we'll see how the show goes. We know that even more than that, we'll need those. That's how many people we expect to see from Pittsburgh and from everywhere for Replay FX. And just the things that are planned. There are some things that haven't even been announced yet that I'm especially excited for. I mean, I love that we're going to have this huge pinball tournament, but we're going to have a lot more than that.
Well, I can't wait to find out what those special surprises are. I'm really excited as well, and I'm also very happy to hear that my actual former hometown is actually going to be featured on the center stage now. You know, you've got that gorgeous location right on the water, right next to the point. Carnegie is an amazing place and a warm home for Papa, but to be able to feature the city a little bit more is great too.
Yeah, it's amazing how many I've been to back and forth from Pittsburgh. I work in the city every couple months. And it's amazing how many people I talk to are like, wait, you have what here? You have they have no idea that Papa headquarters exists. Now you take that and you throw it into the entire convention center with 120,000 square feet and full advertising on billboards and TV and malls.
Absolutely. We could be the next furry convention, which is also held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, sure.
Hey, whatever works. Actually, we had, I believe, a furry enthusiast won second place in B division this year in Papa.
Cool.
He was kicking butt with a tail on, and it was great.
Was that Tails Divine?
Yeah, Tails Divine, exactly.
The return of Tails Divine, who was I don't remember if he made top 16 in A, but he moved out to Los Angeles and kind of lost a little bit of track of pinball, but he's back, and he's back strong.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen him play, and he was putting up some really strong play.
He's been an outstanding player, and he's now developing a bit of a bodybuilding career as well.
Oh, wow. Multi-talented.
So Bob Johnson, he might not be undefeated after this game. $1.3 million for that ball, and we're going to send...
PPL is using their substitute. Subbing in for Amy is Al Tomka.
coach's choice.
The coach chooses himself.
Yeah, that's an Al Tomka move, right?
Well, Al's an extremely talented player, and he's really good at Tron as well. So
He has decided to crush it like himself. There's a good skill shot there, and a couple combos would work here. If you can put a combo together and get an end of line, he'll have it knowing he only needs 1.3. So this is exactly the way you want to play this game. Oh, man.
that was a big nudge.
But he's got enough now on bonus that it
He
should
probably
be enough because it's 250,000 for any of the solidly lit lights.
Yes.
So he has it.
Unless he
And that
tilts.
was actually extremely dangerous. There was no reason to do that. He had the win, knowing that the bonus was enough
He
to put
just
him
likes
over.
some drama.
That
So
does it.
you save the drama for your PPL as the victor of round 4.
So Al Tomka comes in and that's going to be it.
And for the PPL, the winner is you.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Could I do a couple plugs real quick?
Yeah,
Of course.
Go for it.
As long as-
Excellent. Well, I'm a moderator of the Pinball subreddit, so if you have the opportunity, go to reddit.com/r/pinball. I believe we're the 3rd largest pinball community on the internet right now. Over 3,500 active members, so come on out and say hi. Also, Tablecam TV, if you want to do a broadcast like this, come check out my website. We're just getting ready to launch plans so you can build a 3-webcam, 30 frame per second, 720p broadcast for under $400.
And
you can do it right from your house.
let
Now
me
you
give
tell
a
us.
recommendation
we could
for
have gotten
this.
a lot of those for.
I've actually talked with him quite a bit about some ideas for webcams, and his ideas are off the hook and they're economical.
Right.
So
Absolutely. A webcam in every league.
the price of this stuff has come down so much. You can do it. You're saying under $450. Maybe it'll even be cheaper than that in another year.
Joe Saeed, Pinball Joe, we helped him set up a rig for about $200. That's what he's broadcasting on. It's incredibly inexpensive.
And it works because he recently did a full 24-hour broadcast with that rig. So
Yeah, that's really great. Well, thank you guys for having me. Bowen, when you did your AMA on Reddit, I asked you how I could one day commentate on a broadcast for a Papa event, and I realized all you have to do is skulk around next to the booth whenever they're asking people. Thank you so much.
That wasn't my answer.
I think you asked for my sizzle reel, actually.
Thank you so much, Jake. You were
Jake,
terrific.
thank you.
Excellent on the mic for sure. We'll have you back again many
Thank
times.
you so much. You guys have a great day.
Take care.
So moving on to Who Done It on round 5.
All right, and this is a full split flipper round. So they're going to pick a team. In this case, it's Chris Stevens on the left and Amy Covell Murphy on the right. And then when they go to game 2, it'll be the other 2 players as another split. If it goes to game 3, it has to be a pair who were not together in either of the earlier games.
So you got to split the teams up for it.
Right. So it's a split flipper, split team, and you've got to play all 4 players at some point in the split between this game and the next.
And joining us on the microphone is one of our PAPAtv live regulars, Brian Tessier.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hey, Brian. So what do you think? Is there new life in the PPL now that they've actually won a game? Could this be a momentum builder, or is it too late?
I'm not sure if it's too late, but it is a definite step in the right direction. We'll see what happens here in this round.
Kevin Millar would say it is possible to win from going down 3-0.
Absolutely.
And probably the Philadelphia Flyers from that one year where
We don't talk about that.
They beat the Bruins from behind 3-0. Well, you don't talk about that in Boston.
I'm sure. And we don't mention the Penguins losing to the Islanders after being up 3 games as well. More than once, I believe.
I don't think that actually ever
That didn't
happens.
happen. That's not possible. All right, we've got now these are full games, and we've got Chris Stevens on the right flip and Amy Cavell Murphy on the left flip, and they're going to try to guess who done it here. Now, last time they said it was Victoria, and it wasn't. It was probably the Butler. It's the Butler, dude. It's the Butler.
Isn't it always the Butler?
Nope. Oh, Trixie has an alibi. So that eliminates her.
You know, Bowen, what if the alibi was a lie? I was thinking about that.
Al's saying you always blame it on the girl. I don't know if that's true. That may be true for Al.
Yeah, you know, it got him this far. Here he is on PAPAtv.
And that's going to be a little bit of evidence for the taxi. This will light the phone. Good choice of play here by this team. And Chris really knows the rules well. Oh, and a bad bounce. Wow. Where did that come from?
Now, if you were choosing, if you were stepping up to this game to play a split flipper game, is there a flipper you would prefer to have on this?
I like that. I would take the right flipper because it's the shot you need to get the phone.
Yeah, that phone shot is mighty important in this
Which
game.
is the shot you'll use to interrogate and choose a suspect, and then also the shot that then cashes in to start the roof round. So that's probably the most important shot in the game.
I guess I would say it depends who I'm playing with split flipper.
Yeah, that's true too. If I'm playing with someone who has better accuracy than me, which in split flipper is not unusual at all, I'm gonna let them handle the right flipper.
If you're playing with Daniele Acciari, you let him have the right flipper.
I think you let him pick whatever he wants, and you're happy to have the other one.
Now for FSPA, we've got Jonathan Williams on the left flip and Rob Wintler-Cox on the right.
They go on straight for the basement?
They were at the basement, and it looks like they're trying to start. If you can get the basement, you get to start multi-ball.
But they're climbing back up.
We got some ululation going on here.
Is that a word?
Yes, it is. Ululation.
Okay.
Ululation, and that's the word for that blah 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 whatever.
Okay. I did not know there was a word for that noise.
There probably shouldn't be. So the super skill shot on whodunit. Oh, they got it!
Got it right in there.
The super skill shot gives you big points, and then it gives you all 4 of the awards that you could get from the regular skill shot.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, so it's enormous, and so some players will just plunge for super skill, and if they don't, nice out there on the right. Ball saves on, so it didn't really matter, but
So that's a good way to get the coveted.
that's good there. You're going to get an award off that. You're advancing this. One of the later awards, the 3rd or 4th award, is very good.
It's a multi-ball, right?
So you want to get those awards if you can, and you get free rats, you know.
It's like your Happy Meal.
Pack of rats, you know. Tell me more about Tony. So the trick is that when you're interrogating someone, it's either going to be the person they're talking about, or it's the person who's talking.
That is my understanding of it as well.
Who was that talking?
So that was not Trixie, but it was Trixie, right?
Yeah, so
that
they
was
already
Trixie.
picked Trixie.
They already picked Trixie, so you know Trixie is wrong.
Because she has an alibi.
She has an alibi.
And she couldn't be lying about that.
So whoever one of Tony, I forget if Tony is the one who was killed or Bruno was killed. But whichever
Well, I see
other
Bruno
one it
flashing,
is.
so I think he's still a suspect.
So who done it? It's either Tony or Bruno. No, Tony's dead. So it's Bruno. It's absolutely 100% Bruno
What
right
if Tony offed himself?
now. Nope, you're wrong. Victoria has an alibi. It's Bruno. It's not the girls. It's not the. I just
think
like
Al
to
disagrees with you there,
remind you
Bowen.
that these are the opinions of Al Tomka.
And
And
not
there
the
is the
opinions
most
of
important item in the
PAPAtv.
game. In my opinion, the revolver is the absolute most important thing to get in this game.
Why is the revolver so important?
Well, Bowen, it increases your jet hits during multi-ball increase your jackpot by 1 million points. If you have the revolver, that becomes 5 million points a jet hit on your jackpot increase.
5 million. So 5 million per bumper.
5 million per bumper added to your jackpot value.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, and that can be achieved by reaching the 5th floor on the elevator. It awards you whatever piece of equipment is furthest left that is unclaimed. The revolver is the first one, so on the 5th floor, you'll usually get the revolver.
So this time that was Victoria talking. We already know that Bruno is the killer, but she talked about Tex and Tony. Tex is actually one of Bruno's nicknames, so you do have to learn some things about the people. This is correct. So now it starts the roof round. In the roof round, you have to shoot a loop and then the phone. And
It usually starts with the right loop, I believe, under the ramp.
yeah, it starts with the one that's harder to hit. So you can either wait a few seconds, in which case it'll switch to the left loop as it does here, or you can try to make the right on the backhand. Or what they did was they flopped it over. So here you're going to flop it over from the right to the left. And then try to shoot that loop. Nice. Didn't go all the way
didn't
around.
quite make it
Back
around.
to the left. Still got time, but there's only 3 seconds on the clock. And this will actually give them the ball back. It's going to be no, I'm sorry. It's not that at all, is it?
No, it is not.
But it was a magnifying glass.
They did all right there. If they'd finished the roof round, it would have been a very valuable multi-ball. But getting the roof round is still worth points, and they have a significant lead right now on FSPA. What else is there to do in this game?
I don't know. I just go for multi-ball.
Play roulette, baby. Play roulette.
So there's roof. What about the other multi-ball?
The other multi-ball, I'll get there through the basement. I'm not good at plugging the skill shot, honestly, to get locks that way. So you have to go through the basement and exit out the basement and go right into that multi-ball.
Yeah, basement is a free multi-ball start. Otherwise, you got to hit it in that crazy hole 3 times. It's not the girls now. It's the butler. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the butler.
And the butler has an alibi this
We
time
actually
around.
have no information about who the correct suspect is in their case because they haven't gotten any. They haven't called or interrogated. So that was basically.
And I didn't hear the question that was asked. Usually the detective character asks, "Tell me more about whoever."
They just haven't done that yet. They went directly to choose who done it from the elevator.
That honestly, that seems like bad police work. I mean,
It is. You don't generally just accuse a suspect, but the good news is you're not a policeman. You're a private investigator, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're like one of those private guys. Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to know who done it, you know? All right, so it's we're going into ball 3. Trixie's been killed, even though she was just talking earlier. There's a good lead here for PPL with 350. The FSPA really hasn't gotten much to go here, but this is a game where you can quickly go from a nothing score to over $1 billion.
You can catch them on roulette in one shot.
Yeah. They have the pen. Well, no, they didn't get it. The penthouse key, but here's the free multi-ball from the 4th slot machine. So getting those 4 slot machines was not easy, but the 4th one is really valuable. I think the 5th one is actually also a second chance, which
I'm not
would give
sure
the ball,
on the order
which would
on
give the
this.
ball back to you out of an out lane. The jackpots are everywhere. The the 2 shots on the right, the roulette and the sewer are jackpots. You can shoot all 3 pieces of the center ramp. You get a jackpot, and you can also get them out of the bumpers. This the bumpers is what's keeping this from being a blowaway right now. They're not putting the ball in the bumpers very much.
And also shooting the key will light your mystery award, which will also award a jackpot during multi-ball play.
Yes, good point. So a decent value there. We went from like 350 to 650, but there's a possibility of really gaining a huge amount of points out of that multi-ball.
Absolutely. You should be coming out at least $1 billion strong on that.
But they're playing split, and it's just instantly more difficult for doing so.
It requires a lot of communication.
Like managing lane change to get the right in lanes and out lanes is hard, very hard.
and even if you communicated about it, sometimes a player automatically just tries to do it on their own anyway.
It's a reflex, absolutely,
Right.
John.
There's a good shot by Chris. Interrogate. So right now we know that it's either going to be Butler or
Walter. No.
We know that it's either going to be Butler or Bruno because Bruno is talking about Butler. The right thing to do is to pick Butler. It's a 75% chance that it's Butler. And if it's not Butler, I know it's Bruno.
And that's the correct suspect.
So they're going back to the roof.
Back to the roof, John.
And you also got information there for later that Butler and Walter are the same person.
Yes.
So sometimes people will talk about Walter, and you're like, who the hell is Walter? Walter's the Butler. Tex is Bruno. And I think that's it.
I think those are the only two
Those are the
nicknames.
only 2 nicknames. But it's pretty clever. There actually is like a whole story written by Dwight Sullivan, who did the software for this game about like who is what and what the timeline. And
Oh, there's a whole timeline.
it's incredible. Here is a free jackpot. Actually, no, it's a second chance. So this puts the ball back into play, which is basically just free ball save. Awesome there. Good tactics. And they're going to get a jackpot here. So
and they get the jackpot, the cherry on top,
75.
as they say.
After a jackpot, what I like to do is shoot the left loop. And yes, Chris is right on it because it's going to give you a choice here between
Jackpot
would you
or
like
jackpot?
jackpot or jackpot? I don't know. I'll
Cake,
take
please.
jackpot.
An excellent decision.
And you can just continue to do this to get more jackpots. Main floor will give you slots and roulette. Basement is what he's really after, but you can also get maybe another jackpot out of there. Didn't work that time because if the loop around is lit for taxi chase, it won't go into the bumpers. So there's just a lot of detail you've got to pick up in this game. It's
And he missed the lane change for the slot on the drain out.
really
on the,
strong,
right side.
strong game.
About a billion points.
We're here near Pittsburgh for the PPL versus FSPA League Challenge. I'm Bowen Cairns with Brian Tessier and John Raplogo.
Good evening.
FSPA leads 3-1. PPL coming back from 3-0. And we'll see if FSPA can close it out here on Whodunit, or if they will have to continue on to the final 2 games, which would be Walking Dead and, if necessary, Wizard of Oz. So right now we're in Game 6, if necessary territory, as we're on Game 5. And that's it. That's going to do it. It's a victory for PPL. They go ahead 1-0. It's a best of 3 on Whodunit, as we'll now see the other 2 teammates.
I think Whodunit gets a lot of negative press, but I think it's also a game that doesn't get a lot of play before people give it negative press, which is, like people form an opinion on Whodunit, and I think some people, when you first start up, you just shoot that center shot over and over again, and that's not very good pinball.
There's not a lot of points there either. Just repeating the ramps over and over again aren't going to really get you anywhere in this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to the game than that. And so I encourage you, the next time you see a Whodunit machine, give it a shot. I would say that I really don't know the rules as well as I would like to know the rules in Whodunit. And that's why I tried to shut up as much as I could restrain myself while you guys
The storyline is really crucial, and you saw that actually when PPL won that game anyway, but they lost some opportunity by picking the wrong suspect when it was clear who it was. So it's a really unusual game in that sense.
Yeah, it encourages you to play it out to reward you with a big score.
Yep. Like they just made the mistake there of not letting the ball go down the out lane while the mystery award was lit. It could have picked up a piece of these evidence, this tattoo ad. We know from the other story parts of the story that Tex and Tony got tattoos together.
Okay.
Tony is dead. And Tex Bruno is not dead, so it's Bruno.
Okay.
But whether they actually know that, or hopefully, I mean, come on, no spoilers.
I'm not going to tell them, though.
But if they get up there and they do get a chance to choose who done it, it's definitely Bruno. Unless I'm wrong, I could easily be wrong about it. This game premiered in '95 at the Chicago Expo, and it was a tournament machine there. And we were all trying to figure out we read the entire storyline document because it was like you never knew what it was that you were going to have to know.
So the storyline document was out before the game was out?
It came out right at the time that the game first premiered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, you can see the timeline for the game itself on the rule sheets for the game that's hosted on pinball.org.
Oh.
There's a Whodunit page there with a good timeline of the events of the characters and how they all kind of interacted and came together.
Yeah, so neither team put up a good ball there. FSPA with a slim lead, but neither of the scores is really much to.
No, there wasn't a lot that
at.
happened on the first ball for either team there.
The one interesting thing that did happen is that FSPA shot roulette and then decided not to go for it, which I actually think is a mistake because the roulette in competition play is rigged so that you will lose the first roulette and you'll always win the second roulette.
Okay.
So by taking the first roulette very early in the game, you will lose, but you won't lose a lot because you don't have much to play with. And you know that later, if you ever get to play roulette again, you will definitely win. And so you're going to lose a little at the beginning of the game in exchange for a guaranteed win of a lot later in the game. And it could serve, in this case, since they're player 2, it can serve basically as an insurance policy. So they should know from. No, I'm sorry, that was the other ball. That was PPL's ball.
Yeah, that was the PPL's ball.
So just pick the butler. I mean, it's always the butler.
Never the butler.
It's the butler. Nope.
It was not Victoria.
Victoria has survived. I mean, why don't they just, if they have an alibi, why didn't they just say that in the first place? Oh!
There was a rogue scream from somewhere in this other side of the building.
Somewhere in the realm of Al Tomka.
That did sound Tomka-esque.
I don't know if it was or not, but you guys could be right.
Still not much in it here, and we've got Brian Smith and Matt Clark on the machine for the beginning of ball 3.
And they didn't really get much going in the first 2 balls.
What they really need more than anything else. Oh, that was convenient. The game just handed them a super skill shot.
That's
Big points,
really nice.
Free lock, multiplier.
Oh, the coveted bonus multiplier. Bonuses in this game can get
The bonus
quite
multiplier
gigantic.
is really valuable, much more than people think it is. Second chance will give them an opportunity to free clue, which they should just shoot the middle or shoot the phone. That'll work as well. 10 million, and now they can shoot the phone to interrogate a suspect.
That wasn't the phony shot there.
Now they should be going for the phone here, but elevator
They're going
madness.
Elevator Madness.
This is actually a very good choice as well. So what's elevator madness?
Elevator Madness is a 2-ball multi-ball. It seems to have some kind of unique scoring depending on which floor the elevator is currently supposed to be on. I believe reflects your score.
Yeah, and the middle floors are worth the most, and the elevator will just basically constantly go up and down. Keep going.
Some definite encouragement going on by the coach of the PPL there.
Awesome.
He's found new ways to motivate his troops.
He's motivating them by moving further away from them.
You know what, Bo?
And then
it
yelling.
seems to be working.
It is working. PPL has responded. Ever since Al ate that pizza, they've been undefeated. We talked about that at the beginning of Game 4.
I did notice that
they
at
were
the beginning
behind,
of the game,
when
they walked
beh-
away.
They were behind 3-0, and Game 4 was about to begin, and Al responded by eating a slice of pizza. And ever since then, they've been lights out. 140 million that multi-ball, 309 on the board, and this is an interrogation. This should.
Oh, but I know who
learned
Tex
that
is now.
Well, yes, Tex is Bruno.
That's
so,
right.
based on what we saw earlier, it really is not looking good for Bruno. So here, a backhand into the phone is the right play to me. You can do it. It's not that hard a shot. It's easier than it looks.
There.
That looks like
they're
a tight shot
They're
to
getting
me.
advice. It does. It looks very difficult, but it's actually not so bad.
But then
This
I
is
say
gonna
that
be-
about backhanding the sniper on 24, and I seem to be able to pull that off with some success. So
So here into the phone, if they can pull off that shot. The other reason, that's lock 2. Boy, this could be a big play here. He's going down to the basement.
The basement.
We almost never see that animation. 'Cause no one ever locks ball 2. Bounce over. All right. Penthouse would be, well, they don't have the penthouse key. There it is. That's the shot right there. So tell me more about Tex. Now that 2 different characters have decided to talk about Tex, you're really sure, and he's even talking about the matching tattoos that we saw from the evidence.
I wonder if it's Bruno.
I think it might be Bruno this time.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to pick him.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
You fool!
She has an alibi.
All right, so by the mystery actually relights the phone, so they can go back to investigate. And the extra ball, I forget where the extra ball is.
Oh, they
just got that
got that.
lane over.
Yeah, that's 5 million, but no big deal.
Yeah.
So big missed opportunity by not understanding the evidence and the interrogations. That and it's basically about what is whodunit doing. One of the things I've always admired about Dwight Sullivan games, he gets a bad rap sometimes for software bugs, which everybody has software bugs, but he's also pretty amazing at telling a good story.
Oh, the story of this game is incredible.
The story of this game is one of the best ever. And even his other games like Sopranos, it's about becoming the boss. It really puts you in like, what are you doing? You're really being part of the pinball experience.
It's a very immersive storytelling.
Terminator 2, High Speed 2, of getting fifth gear and getting away. Here it is again. Neither team is understanding what it is that these clues are telling them. Each of these teams should have been in roof mode by now.
Yes, absolutely.
But you get to kill suspects.
But this is interesting. A choice here between clue or bar, and that the bar is correct. It's 100 million points. It's huge. Nothing there. They're closing in. Realistically, what they need is just another $5 million. What they need is they need to get the right suspect.
Yes. There's the shot to the phone.
So who done it? We already know this. Don't do it. No, don't do it.
All right.
You fool!
Well, they sometimes call her Tex.
No, she texts.
Did they have texting back then?
They did, but
Oh, big
absolutely
save.
incredible
What
save.
a nudge.
And you think about that. That was split flipper. That's two different people working together to make that happen.
Yeah, that was a big move. That might have been.
Absolutely incredible move.
That might have actually done it.
They still have $100 million to go. For something.
I think they're going to get this. I think they're going to figure out who done it, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's
they
pretty
have a
hard
good
not to
chance.
figure out who done it this time.
Maybe
There's
they'll
a
pick
there's a
Butler.
lock. I don't know how much that's worth.
Meet me in the basement.
The basement. Interesting. The voice of the interrogator here, by the way, is the same voice who did Rod Serling
For the Twilight Zone?
and
Really?
Ted from Red and Ted's Roadshow, and most famous for NBA Jam, Boom Shakalaka.
Oh, okay.
Are they going to have it on bonus?
Tim Kitzrow. They do not have it.
Oh my goodness gracious, though. That's close. That's
They
close.
don't have it.
That's another game for
And
the
it's
PPL.
a game for the PPL. They win 2-0, and
And
that takes them back to a 3-2 deficit. They're halfway there. All right, Al's gonna need some more pizza.
and suddenly it looks like game on. It looks like there's a live match going on. Bowen, do you know what we have next?
That was Jill's first loss of the night, by the way. He was undefeated in every game he'd played up until now.
Do you have the sheet there, Bowen?
Sure, we'll be moving on for Game 6 to Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
And
Okay.
this is very much like rounds 1 and 2. It's a best of 3. The priority goes to the players who have played the least so far. So, for example, when Al Tomka took over for Amy, that means that Amy has the priority here and probably will be required to play Game 1 on Walking Dead, which wasn't so bad. She killed Walking Dead earlier.
Bowen, I'm going to stand up for a few minutes and let Virginia sit down in my spot. So you're going to be working with 2 new announcers. So enjoy yourself.
All right, terrific. Thank you so much, John. And please don't walk into any more chainsaws.
John's hand looks pretty good considering.
Yeah, he's pretty close to coming back to normal. We're here at Papa World headquarters for Game 6 of the 7-game league challenge between Pittsburgh and the FSPA. I'm Bowen Cairns, and
I'm Rich Wickersham with the FSPA.
And I'm Virginia Hendricks with the PPL.
so we've got one representative from the FSPA and PPL with us for this round on Walking Dead. It'll be best 2 out of 3, and if FSPA wins this round, 2 out of 3, they will win the semi-coveted giant trophy of heads of things. It's an Avengers trophy. That's a custom trophy, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you haven't mentioned it earlier, Angela Dropka made it. I know she's also making custom trophies for tournaments all over the country. So if you really like that trophy, get in touch with her.
I know that the FSPA has really enjoyed the trophy, and we treated it like Lord Stanley's Cup. And after winning the first round, I took it around. It slept in the bed with me. It moved around with other people. I think it may have bathed with Bob Johnson, who's going to be up on Walking Dead.
That's a little bit scary, but Bob's probably highly motivated to win it again, considering he's hosting the league finals, the league gathering shortly too, right?
I think so. You know, if I were going to enter the zombie apocalypse, I would want Bob Johnson with me.
He is quite adept at taking down drains. All right, we've got so Bob will be playing in a later game, I think. We got Matt Clark, who was just player 1 representing PPL, And player 2 here representing the FSPA is Jonathan Williams. And Jonathan showed some strength on Walking Dead as well as other machines. He ran into some serious bad luck one of the earlier games, but his play has been solid, and everybody really has turned up with a good performance tonight.
I feel like we're in a reverse of last year where, what was it, the FSPA was down going into like round 3 and 4 and made that monster comeback, and now the PPL is doing that this year.
You can kind of feel the tide turning a little, unfortunately, but I think we're gonna, I think Jonathan might be the person, the catalyst to move it forward. I spoke to him about The Walking Dead before playing this, and he said he'd never seen the show, so he won't take any of that into account. Maybe he'll just play good pinball for us.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fumble there.
Well, maybe I should have said that.
Yeah, you spoke too soon, Rich.
That's a tough move, and that's a move that victimizes a lot of beginning or intermediate players, where the ball floats over a flipper, and you hold the flipper up, hoping that the ball that you're going to be able to flip it away with that flipper when it's just out of your reach, and then because that flipper's up, it caused the drain. He was able to save it with his right flipper, but only into the base of the left flipper that was up. That was nice there by Matt.
Very nice.
So he's just dangerous. I don't know what he's doing, shaking the game some more. But, boy, the center drain out of that magnet is, it really doesn't feel fair. I don't know what you do there. I mean, as a player facing that, I don't know what you do. As a designer, I don't know what you do either if you put a magnet there. They're pulsing the magnet, trying to get it to have sort of maximum movement, but it's still right above the flippers.
Yeah, that shot seems dangerous on a lot of games. I know Metallica, this one, a few of the other games they've come out lately. Yeah, it gets to a point where you're real scared to shoot for that center shot, but that's the best shot in the game sometimes.
Risk reward.
Yeah, and right, if you don't put shots like that, if you don't put dangerous things on your game, it won't be interesting enough. The design is really challenging to make people, to force the player to lose the ball through their own action. You want them to feel like they lost the ball, they didn't get ripped off, but you also want them to feel like they're on the edge as much as possible. It's really hard to design a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Got Kevin Stone here from FSPA giving Jonathan some pointers. He's one of our best Stern players in the league. He's already been used as a sub, but let's see if it helps.
Yeah, I was curious whether FSPA might have used their second sub in this game, because they have 2 more subs available to them. PPL is out of subs, and this is a pretty critical game.
I know Joe asked me if I could play Walking Dead before I walked up here, and I was like, no.
Yeah, so then the question was, who would you sub in? And it doesn't seem like there's really anyone particular to pick that would be necessarily better at this game than Jonathan is. He's doing fine. He's already 3 or 4 shots away now from the prison multi-ball that would really put a huge cushion between him and Matt here. So you can tell the prison progress by the flashing letter. He needs ON and then 1 more shot to start the multi-ball. You can also get a letter by shooting any red solid shot on the board. So the arena shot, the right ramp, would give him a prison letter. But at this point, if you're solid enough at shooting the center, just keep shooting the center.
His extra ball's flashing too, it looks like.
Yep, that's a good insurance policy. So he's way ahead right now. Got Bicycle Girl running, which is a left ramp hurry up. And he's also taking shots at, I think that was a shot at the right ramp to try and get that prison letter. Wow.
Nice.
That looked dead in water, and
Oh, you got it back.
instead it's walking.
You can just see how calm he is now compared to the first ball.
Oh,
His
hey,
execution
that looked
shots.
pretty. All right, so 2 more shots to the center for prison multi-ball. And what's it like when things are going well? What do you try to think about or not think about?
I don't know. I try to just focus on the game entirely. I try to block out. PPL's done a good job of getting in my head. I remember last year playing in this. Al Al did have an effect on me, and for the first couple of games, it really started to bother me. But then when I locked in and just focused in on the game, blocked everything out, I did okay.
And this is huge here. This is going to be very difficult to chase down, as Jonathan has started both multi-balls, the prison multi-ball and the West Welker multi-ball, both started almost at the same time, and there's just jackpots everywhere right now. Yeah, you just got to hope for 4 balls to drain at once, but there's all sorts of stuff lit right now. That center shot was worth $2 million just now. There it is, $4 million. This is lights out here. It's not impossible to come back from this, but the score really changes in a hurry once you get the doubler going and these 2 multi-balls.
Well, fortunately, it's a best 2 of 3, so even if we go down the first game, we have 2 more to come back.
I'm just glad we'll be playing from a position of strength here.
Yeah, this is a good position to be in, and then it looks like FSPA will be running out. They've still Gills to play, who has only lost once all night on a split flipper game, so it's going to be difficult for PPL to chase this down. But then again, Chris Stevens is also undefeated tonight. He hasn't lost at all.
Yeah, Chris has been amazing to watch. But Jill, in our league, I mean, he won A, and he did it in a rather solid fashion. I mean, he just stormed through the league this year. He's been playing a lot. He's been practicing a lot, and it's really paying off for him.
Yeah, this is the best ball we've seen all night on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Definitely incredibly strong ball here for Jonathan. And he's getting to kill zombies. Sometimes multiple zombies at once, apparently. I thought that was multi-ball when I first started. I was like, oh, I got another multi-ball. No, it's multi-kill. Really? All right. Boom, 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 boom. Bow.
Ow.
And a bit bonus. Big bit. Oh, that's a great ball.
All right, come on, Chris. Let's do this.
Jonathan Williams.
It's a lot of walkers.
58 million points.
Oops. Got my people mixed up.
That's going to be a really difficult one to chase down here, but anybody could win. You know, it's always possible to catch that. Remember, this is a best 2 out of 3 on Walking Dead. There will be another game after this. FSPA leads the series 3-2. They will need to win 2 out of 3 games on Walking Dead to clinch the championship. We still have other players to play in this game. We have Amy Cavell-Murphy, Chris Stevens, and Brian Smith for PPL. And we have Rob Windler-Cox, Bob Johnson, and Jill Melanson for FSPA. Nice out there by Matt Clark.
Extra ball. Nice job. Very nice job.
That is an actual extra ball.
It is.
So
It's on.
Yes.
That was rather important and serious. It gives him basically 2 chances to get back in it. And the biggest set of points that is available right now being that prison multi-ball. So he really needs to target that. The center shot or the red solid shots will also give him prison letters. So that's not as well known, but he can take a shot to the barn or the arena and pick off a letter in prison as well. But I'm not sure he knows that because he's going right for prison. And he may as well pick off the left loop here. Start barn at the same time as you're picking up a letter in prison. After the next letter in prison, all those red lights are off as they are now. So now you have to shoot the center for the last 2. Riot is a really good round to have going into prison multi-ball. So if you can make this good right now, 1 more to go. This is serious. This could be a very high-valued round.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy. And there's plenty of time in the round, so it's not like you're in a super hurry to get this going. And there it is.
Very nice.
Great job by Matt. This is pressure play.
Tighten it
3-ball multi-ball begins. He can also go to bring in the Welker by shooting that shot a couple more times. Shots to center are jackpots. Red flashing shots are jackpots. Here comes the Welker, and that's his double multi-ball again, the same multi-ball we saw from Jonathan, except additionally he has the Riot round running. So that inner loop at the top with the flashing Riot shot is worth a big payday right now. And usually if you can hit it just by accident.
Interesting thing to note about Matt is we have several different divisions in our league, and I think he's won almost all of them at some point. At one point, I think he was our only winner of all of them, but he has won our A, B, C, and D divisions.
All right, so a nice shot there to the Riot. That's a good value. Riot continues for another some number of seconds. Nope, it's over. So 0 was that number.
Okay.
Let's close the gap
That's a
there
good
nicely.
number.
0 is it's even. But now, he's kind of in jail. There's nothing going, really. He's got to get back to, oh, wow, pretty.
He's got a 2 times play field.
He's got double play field, and he's making shots for Riot. And the crossbow, there's a lot of value on the board. Good to let that
nice
go.
shot,
This is
Matt.
double value bit.
Okay.
That's not bad. And he's all right. He's got about 35, 40 million right now, but he's going to have to basically go back to prison again. Not literally, but yeah, he's just about 40 million.
Wow.
All right.
That's a great comeback. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens here. This is going to be tighter than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and that ball that looked like a sure win for Jonathan is now in jeopardy. Jonathan also has extra ball lit when it's his turn.
Right.
So if it does come to that, he has opportunity to get the same extra ball we saw Matt earn. But yeah, I think you have to get into multi-ball. That's where most of his points came from. It's going to be difficult. He needs 7 shots to the center just to start prison and open it up. And then another 7 shots, some of which could be regular shots instead of prison shots. That's basically 14 shots to get to where he needs to be. And you could go for Walker, to the guy on the right instead. But realistically, that also needs to be plugged like 10 times. So choose your poison.
I'm curious
And
what
if
Chris.
you choose that poison, you're only getting a 2-ball multi-ball. It often ends before you get anything significant out of it.
Okay. Oh, so close.
And that's a glorious comeback attempt by Matt Clark. He does lose the game. 1-0 lead in Walking Dead for FSPA, Free State Pinball Association. That puts them 1 game away from the title. They can win either of the next 2 games to clinch, and PPL must win both.
That tilt was a little loose there. I mean, needed that last extra shake to get it.
Yeah, let's.
They shifted the game back.
Tomka moves the game back into position
Yeah.
for us.
Now you
Or
gotta
maybe he.
That was a shake of anger.
Yeah.
I think he's upset now.
That's all right. It gets done. It happens.
Now you got to wonder what Al's thinking right now. Being down, by 1 match, and also at this point by 1 game.
Yeah, and they do have. FSPA still has two of their hottest players to go and 2 subs. They're in strong position here to where they can just put their best player up on the game right now to try and win the tournament. Meanwhile, PPL has to win outright here. More pizza? I think we got to go for that. We got to go for the pizza here.
Maybe it'll bring him luck.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Coaches are letting Pete know now that who their final selections are. So let's see what they've decided.
I'm thinking Bob Johnson is coming up. As I said before, I mean, if I was going to go into the zombie apocalypse, that's who I'd bring. His arms are crossed. He looks really serious.
I think Chris is Al's strongest player right now, but have to see if that's what he decides. Or he might be waiting to see what Joe decides. Huh? Okay.
As it's becoming a rivalry today, Rob Wentworth versus Chris Stevens.
Yeah.
Rob's
yeah.
coming in again. He's due.
Yeah, and we went with Chris.
This is an interesting choice. For I don't know who had to pick first. If PPL had to pick their person before, or if FSPA did.
Yeah, it looks like I think PPL did.
Okay, that makes some sense. I think. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of an off night for Rob compared to what I've seen from him. He's made the Pinburg finals in A before, and I just haven't seen him put up strong scores tonight. But that's okay. No,
He's faced the stiffest competition though, and
yeah,
I mean,
he's just constantly having to play against Chris Stevens. Will do that to you.
So
yeah, I know there was a streak where I was in league one time, and like I
Nice.
swear he was in my group like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and I'm like, really? Yeah, it's bad enough having to play Pete all the time, you know, and then to have to play Chris at league. It's just like, oh. So. Hey, Rich, there was an interesting question in the chat room. One of the guys asked, do both leagues allow extra balls to be played? I know the PPL currently is allowing extra balls to be played, although it's up for debate every season. What about the FSPA?
we try to turn them off in the software if we can. We'll accept the points, but it's a straight plunge. You can add the points at the end. Typically, is our rule. We don't play them unless it's in a special tournament or something, and we stated that in the rules. It creates a lot of problems, and we watch each other when we play too, just to make sure nobody makes a mistake and plays that extra ball
Right.
happens to be on.
Yeah, in the New England League, that's the same. It's almost more about the timing and motion of the game for the night. You don't want to sit there watching somebody rack 3 extra balls. I know that FSPA in the olden days used to do 1 extra ball. You could get 1 extra ball and play it full, but then that was all, so that you had some value to playing those aspects of the game that would reward extra balls. But I think that may have changed due to just how long it takes. Like 4 balls instead of 3.
Yeah, and
It adds up.
we had a lot of pens at the location that I played at previously. At the location we play at now, it's much smaller, so fewer pens. Need to have a stricter routine, I think, in order to get through.
Yeah, we have a lot of juggernauts in our league, so tends to make it a long league night if we let them play extra balls. That's why I think they keep looking at it every season, but have to see what they determine this next upcoming season.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, we've been doing it without extra balls in the New England League throughout, and I don't think anybody really misses them. When you're brand new to the league, it's a little confusing because you're like, wait, what? I don't get to play this ball? You're like, yeah, well.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing in the world, plunging the ball. It's like you walk up and you just want to play that ball, and you're like, oh, no. So you pray for that lucky bounce that keeps it in play a little bit longer.
Indeed.
Yeah, every so often, if it's ball 3 and somebody's chasing a big score, we'll let them write down their end of ball 3 score as the final score, and then they can just play out the extra ball. If they're real close to a wizard mode, or if it's the end of the night and nobody's waiting, then go for it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, look out here. This has been troublesome.
Whoa.
2
Come on, baby.
warnings and a save. The save is made by Chris Stevens.
All right, let her settle.
And that's what it takes. And it's timing. It's not as much. There's not much you can do about it as it's coming off that magnet. Beautiful save there by one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, his play has really improved over the last couple years. It's been awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm. And Chris has been very dedicated to improving all aspects of his game, the strategic aspects as well as the there too. Like
that was nice.
That was the situation we saw Jonathan lose a ball in game 1, but Chris lowered the right flipper just in time. It was still not his best move, but the fact that he got that flipper out of the way in time made that possible. Otherwise that was down. And then, this is a little. What he's doing right there is a little bit of a. It's the type of thing that someone will do almost like before shooting a foul shot. Just reset your body, reset your mind, get back into the rhythm of what you should be doing instead of thinking about that busted shot or whatever. And meanwhile, FSPA with the perfectly timed noisemaker.
Yeah, that kazoo's a little annoying.
I keep telling the guys with the noisemakers, when you've played League without Tomka, noisemakers mean nothing.
Yeah, they need like 10 times that many noisemakers to really have a true impact of a Tomka.
I felt it, and yeah, I agree.
All right, so here he's got a lot set up. He's got 2 more shots to prison. The well is running. I also think that what you might do here is instead of just dashing in the multi-ball like you did,
There he is.
you can also, but you could do this during the multi-ball too. Make sure to concentrate on those drop targets on the left because the drop targets light the modes. So it's likely that the ball will just bounce around and hit those, but that's something that I forget if you can actually start these modes during the multi-ball.
Yeah, don't you need to bring the mode into the
I think
multi-ball?
you may need to bring them in during the multi-ball. Chris also is an expert at using his ball save efficiently. So you will often see him letting balls go. We saw that on Indy 500 earlier tonight. And if you know the ball is coming back and it's the ball that's just in your way, just get rid of it, let it go. You don't need to trap up while the ball save is on. Here comes the Wes Welker multi-ball has also begun. And this is a ticket to a pretty high score. Boy, we really haven't seen any bad games yet here.
Wow.
40 million, 58 million, I think was game 1, and we're going to see another 40 million here at least. So, again, he's just letting some of those go. Bumpers are valuable. He's also started the barn round, which will give him value for shooting the left loop. And so he's going to concentrate on that left loop, the prison shot, and the Welker.
Bowen, you'll have to forgive me. You might have addressed this earlier. I admit I don't have a lot of playtime on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Nor do I.
Yeah, see, both of us, though.
So,
Okay.
Are there out-of-balls in any of the multi-balls?
There are no out-of-balls that I know of, or it hasn't been coded in yet if there are plans to.
Okay.
What you do get is you get an additional ball and a new ball save if you bring in the other multi-ball. So he started prison and was playing prison for a long time.
then you could see the...
And then when the Welker multi-ball started, it kicked out another ball and then reset the ball save time.
Nice. Very nice ball.
Wow.
Strong ball by Chris Stevens.
Gosh, if you guys have an MVP, I think we know who it'll be.
Rob's getting pumped up. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Wow.
Rob is
And Al just looks at him like, what? What?
Rob has decided to Hulk out.
He shaved the head before the tournament. He grew the goatee, and he's ready to roll.
Yeah, who was he comparing himself to, Rich, when he shaved his head?
I'm not sure. Some television character.
Yeah, I can't remember which
Oh,
one.
Walter White?
Yes, Walter White. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, it is an AMC game, so.
Yes, that fits it.
Someone in the chat room has pointed out that if you get the Bloodbath, which is the 4th completion of the drop targets on the left side, you will get an add-a-ball for that.
Oh, okay.
That's very rare. I guess you could, if you time it up, you can make that work. Now multi-ball is ready for Rob, and he's dropped into prison.
Okay.
Good that the ball saves on. I hate that magnet.
Yep, and he knows there, because he's got a ball save, there's no reason to make the effort to go get that ball and risk a tilt warning even. Again, we're here in Papa World headquarters, just outside Pittsburgh, playing Stern's Walking Dead machine. If FSPA, Rob Wintler-Cox, wins this game, they clinch the league championship here. I'm Bowen Cairns, and with me is Rich Wickersham and Ginny Hendricks.
You hesitated there. You couldn't remember if it was Ginny or Virginia?
I didn't know which one you preferred. Does it matter?
I go by either one.
I always thought it was Virginia.
I go by both. It just, if somebody asks me, I'll answer either one, whichever you're most comfortable with. My family calls me Ginny. Professionally, I go by Virginia, but I answer to Ginny or Virginia. So
Okay.
for you PPL or for you pinball players out there that know me, you're welcome to call me either one now.
Cool. Oh, it's big score there for
Yeah, he's got
Rob
some
on the double play field. He went right up to about 29 million.
Oh,
That bicycle girl is often ignored, but it's a very large amount of points, especially in double play fields. 6.2 million just in that mode. It only took like 3 shots to the left ramp to make that happen too. So it's not that, it's pretty close.
I was going to say, it felt like Chris was playing forever, and Rob wasn't really playing that long.
Yeah, but Rob was very
Collected the
efficient.
points.
Yeah.
Chris is they're different styles. Chris is a pretty patient player in multi-ball, and Rob is just gangbusters. Is like, let's go.
I know myself, I'm guilty of flail and whale. I just get better flow on it if I don't stop, but I know a lot of people prefer, the control is better to have.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time saying it's better necessarily, just because there's a lot of different choices, and certain players I can't imagine them playing another way, like Andre Masenkoff. I can't imagine him playing as a control freak.
Pete's not much of one either. I have to admit that. And I know Mark's talked about that in past broadcasts.
Yeah, and you can't necessarily change your style. Chris has changed his style quite a bit to be more of a control player as he's evolved his game in the last few years. And like this here, where he's stopping, like there's a mode running right now. The barn is running, but it's not like it's a big freaking deal to go get the points from that. If you can get to prison multi-ball again, you're going to get more value. So he's thinking, what can I do? And then just take your time, make it right.
It's really, really cool and collected. Wish I could be like that. Oh.
Yeah, I wish I could be like that. I don't really play that calm either after a while. The longer the ball goes, it's kind of... I have trouble maintaining that calm. And Chris, I've seen that from him as well, that if he knows a certain goal is near, he'll sort of change up a little bit and maybe lose his cool. But that also comes with experience and time on games and time in heavy competitive situations. I mean, he would have knocked me out of the FBUS championship. I beat him by 12,000 on ACDC.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you remember the FSPA circuit event, didn't Chris and Al play on?
Chris and Al played an incredibly tight game
AC/DC.
on ACDC, like 150, 170 each. That was that one where there was the end of ball and nobody knew whether Al had caught him. I think, didn't Al tilt? And
I think he tilted his bonus away.
he tilted his bonus, and we're looking like, oh my God, did he just lose on that? And then got a verdict from the machine. That's on the PAPAtv archives on YouTube. If you're interested in seeing that game, it was an awesome game.
Yeah.
I also want to point to, I'll have to find the link if somebody can post in the chat room, that'd be great. There's now a service to search the PAPAtv videos by player, by event, by machine. So if you want to find all the competitive games of AC/DC or just all of the competitive play of Chris Stevens or any other player, you can go onto that site and search. And I'm not sure if that was just like a for love project. So we really appreciate that.
And you might need to post that link, because I know you can't post a link unless you're a moderator.
Okay. Well, I'll have to figure out what that link is then.
Yeah. So.
All right, you talk about Walking Dead. Tell us everything.
Well, actually, you know what? Since we have Rich here while we're watching Chris play, I know Rich. This is your first time on the mic, correct?
Yes, it is.
So
yes, it is.
Give us your backstory.
So my backstory is I was really more of a video game player and collector, but I enjoyed pinball a lot. I played it as a kid in the 80s, and not as much in the 90s because it kind of went away.
Sorry.
That was Al Lane, so maybe.
He still has the extra ball.
Yeah, he does.
So
it's coming back. He's cooling himself off. He's getting ready to come in again. And
yeah, I mean,
do
here
more
you
hurting
might
on
just
us.
like walk away for 20 seconds, get your bearings, come back in. You want to make this ball count because your opponent has the same opportunity. And 58 million looks good, but it's not that far ahead. And it may take 80 or 100 million to win this game.
Yeah.
So just go in there and don't act like anything's going on. Oh, you got right into prison, though. This is a good way of clearing his head, too, because there'll be so much going on that you're not going to think about, like, oh, man, I need 5 more million. You're just going to play. So this is great.
Looks like somebody tried to post the link, Bowen. Sorry, Rich.
Oh, no problem. But, really not so much the backstory. One thing I wanted to make sure, I've been down there trying to help give pointers to the players and so forth. It's just how much we appreciate Papa bringing us out here. I mean, it's really, an honor to be sitting here with Bowen and Virginia as well. I mean, what you guys have done for pinball and, a great player. I want to be like Bowen when I grow up, except I'm probably as old as him. But, we're just really, really glad to be involved. Pinball's grown really well in the Washington, D.C. area, and we're bringing in a lot of new players. A lot of new locations are popping up, and a lot of that's attributable to what IFPA is doing and what PAPA are doing. And, to be part of events like this really, I think, helps grow the sport. And it's very exciting for a player like me that's, kind of in the B-C range, really, to go and get in front of the lights and get this opportunity. For our more junior players, it lets you know that you have an opportunity to play competitively. It makes you want to be a better player, and it just gets you more involved in the sport. So we're really glad to be here.
And it takes a long time to get good at this game, too, which I love, that there is a huge learning curve to this. Unlike, say, getting good at Pac-Man. Once you get good at Pac-Man, you're good at Pac-Man, and that ain't going away. You get good at pinball, you still see how much longer you have. And I don't feel like I've learned everything, and I got a lot to learn from players like Chris even, and we're all learning from each other through these videos as well. That to me is it's been great to hear from people who are just, they're learning to play, and they don't necessarily have the community around them that they would have needed in the past to make that work. And it's just the magic of HD video being possible. And 5 years ago, there's no way we could be building we could be broadcasting the way we are now. That's thanks to the streaming services and Twitch and YouTube and all of the donators from PAPAtv to make this possible. Oh, wait, how old are you?
Well, they say it's in Playtask a lady that, so I don't know. Is it Playtask a guy that?
It's fine. 38. That's not too young.
You brought it up. Oh, man.
Oh.
Boy, I'm way older than you.
Man.
How old are you again, Bowen?
I'm 39.
I'm older than both of you, so I'm 40.
And it's a victory for Chris Stevens.
All right, way to go, Chris.
As Rob Wintercox had a quick drain there, that evens the Walking Dead match at 1 game apiece, and this next game will be critical for both sides, I feel.
And Rob played well in that, so I'm disappointed for him to not, to basically face Chris all night. That's as tough as it gets.
Yeah, that's... All right.
Chris remains undefeated on the night.
Very nice.
As far as I can tell from we've been trying to keep track. Official.
That's correct.
Our official man, Mr. Hendricks. He's got all the information in front of him, but
yeah.
It's going to be Brian Smith for PPL in the rubber match here on Walking Dead. Replay FX is coming this summer. It'll be pinball, it'll be arcade, it'll be console, it'll be speakers, it'll be seminars, it'll be tournaments, it'll be tabletop, it'll be everything.
Yeah, don't miss it. Tickets are on sale now.
You want to throw yourself under a Velcro wall? It'll be that.
Oh, wow. I will be
You want to become an interstellar spy? It'll be that. We want to see thousands and thousands of people from the Pittsburgh area and from worldwide to come out for Replay FX. We hope it's the greatest gaming event possible, and it's going to be the largest arcade in the universe.
And the hotel started selling out rather quickly, and they kept having to add blocks at different hotels. So
yeah.
I'd say get in while you can, because...
There's a good story about this, which is that in setting up the initial room block, and a little bit of a fumble drain there from Brian Smith, unfortunately. This is a must-win game for PPL.
Take a deep breath, Brian.
And
Jill is our strongest player.
Has been amazing. He's kind of got the middle finger to Pittsburgh by wearing Ovechkin today. But this is it. He could finish the job here. And by my records, he's only lost 1 game all night, and that was a split flipper game.
Yeah, that jersey's actually a sweater. It's pretty hideous. I'm a Caps fan too, but yeah.
Now, how many cups do the Caps?
Let's not go there.
Oh! And
speaking of,
the tension in the room is getting a little higher as we see everybody knows what's at stake in this game. If PPL wins, we go to Game 7 on Wizard of Oz, and at that point, it's anybody's. If FSPA wins, it's over right now. Oh, so about those rooms.
Yeah.
So initially, as Pinburg sold out, Replay was in the process of setting up and finalizing the room block at Weston, the hotel that links to the convention center, and the block held was quite large.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So the block went open to the public at a specific time. And about an hour later, we started receiving messages saying that the block was full. That people were having trouble booking, and they were wondering when more rooms would be set up.
I didn't realize it was an hour.
The usual reaction to this is, all right, so oh my gosh!
Just bounce right up.
A Leo Daniels death slam makes. Oh my goodness, what a bounce out that is. That would be. The next Papa Kickstarter will have instant replay. Actually, I hear we're working on it to get good instant replay going, but that was serious. And it takes skill to recognize when that is possible and to not just walk away in frustration. So many players will walk away from that.
Brian's another one of our players who I don't think has been in the league that long, but I mean, his play has just been absolutely phenomenal to watch.
And he's got Bicycle Girl running. He's making the right decision by going for that left half. Good moves there. Keep that open. Right ramp. That's all right there. You want to go left if you can. Oh, stay up. Nice. Oh, the move.
Wow.
He's got one warning, so it's all right. He's aiming for the extra ball, which...
That's a tough shot.
It's a tough shot, and it's not strictly a necessary shot right now because it's not ball 3, it's ball 2. So next ball, he'll need to get that. But he could have been making some progress. But, boy, some moves there to really save that ball in the recognition of the Lazarus to keep that ball going.
Yeah, that's
players are not allowed to push the machine to bring the ball back in those situations. But if it comes back by itself and it's back up, take it.
Isn't that called a left cough now?
No. Left coughing is where you deliberately choose to lose and walk away so you can move on to the game 3 of a 3-game set.
Wow.
And we're on to ball 3. It's
right.
fast, and Jill walks away a little bit frustrated, but that's, Walking Dead seems to hand you your hat every few games, and he's just not having much of a run here. Chris is probably telling Brian here that going for that extra ball, especially during the ball save time, would be a valuable option. See if he can pick up that extra ball, then he can really go to town in this game.
Yeah, he may not have realized in the last ball. Like, I know first time I was playing this earlier today that that extra ball carries over.
All right. So to finish the story about the hotel rooms, Papa and Replay booked a very large block at Weston. Within an hour, people were saying they were having trouble booking, and the reaction from both us and from the hotel is that there must be something wrong with the reservation system because, something goes wrong with the computers. It happens all the time. So, all right, we'll look into it. We'll see. Stay on the phone. This is Mark Steinman called them. Stay on the phone. We'll look and see what's wrong with the computers. They go and look, and there's nothing wrong with the computers. There's a power drain there. Boy, that was bad luck.
Oh,
really bad luck here.
Okay.
Still the pressure's
So
on.
here the pressure is on Jill as if he takes it past 7 million here, it is over and FSPA wins. Otherwise, we're on to Game 7. PPLer's calling for a drain. There's not much for him to shoot for other than just basically walkers.
Oh!
1 warning taken, 2 warnings taken.
Come on, go tilt.
The crowd is yelling for him to drain here. This is a big ball. This is the championship for FSPA. If he can pull this off and make 2 or 3 more shots, he's got this. The next Walker kill, he's at 6.2 million. If he can just hit 1 more Walker here,
he just got
it's over.
It's over.
He's done it. He's done it. It's a victory for FSPA.
Look, he's so
FSPA takes it 4 games to 2.
Making sure.
Jill Melanson got to be the MVP
Jill
here.
is our MVP. What a game.
As he takes the walk-off victory for the Free State Pinball Association, they will retain the League Challenge Cup.
That last image of the tournament with Jill in that Ovechkin jersey, just rubbing it in, salt in the wound. That is wonderful.
Yeah, that's. I think we're gonna have to come down there next year and take it out of your house. I think somebody in the chat room said we got to win it on the road.
You guys need to do something different. Clearly.
It's you really, having lost twice in a row, it might be time to let another league have a shot at it.
That's always a possibility too. I know last year Columbus challenged the winner of the FSPA PPL challenge.
Some
so
folks in Ohio
have to
said
talk
that
to
they want
Doug.
All right, congratulations to the Free State Pinball Association. They are the champions here at Papa World headquarters. Check out replayfx.org for the greatest arcade in the universe this summer in July. We'll also be here in March for Papa 18 World Championships. Those two events are trading places. Pinburg and Papa are switching, with Papa being held in March and Pinburg in the summer at Replay FX at downtown Pittsburgh at the Convention Center.
And don't forget, the tickets for Replay FX are on sale now. All the passes, and I believe there's still some VIP packages left.
Absolutely.
Oh, I've got to get that. I got my hotel. I got my Pinburg pass. I don't have my VIP package. I better get that set. You guys won't let me in.
You want to be an Interstellar Spy or a Bounty Hunter? Those Bounty Hunter passes are actually going pretty fast. There's only 50 available.
Wow.
We're going to go over to Pete to present the trophy here to our champions, the Free State Pinball Association.
Gosh, I don't know if that trophy can survive another off season. We had so much fun with it. You guys will have to win it from us next year.
Oh man, that is an ugly, ugly sweater.
We're here to present the trophy to the winning team. For the second challenge in a row, by the score of 4-2, the FSPA takes it.
Woo. The coach.
You guys played phenomenal pinball, so I guess I can't be too mad. No, the FSPA, coming from Pittsburgh, these guys are a great group of guys. So if you're down in that area, you got to join up with their league. I will preach that.
Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. In D.C., a lot of locations are popping up. We got a lot of younger crowd really joining in, and it might look a little contentious on the broadcast, but we're all great friends, and we're gonna have a great time after this, hanging out. And
we'll be here. We'll be here most of the rest of the night, just hanging out, playing more pin. If you're interested in joining the league, look at PAPA.org and IFPAPinball.com for information about leagues in your area and around the world. And we hope you can come out to a tournament. You can make it to Replay FX. It's going to be spectacular. If not, thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast, and spread the word around. Bowen Cairns, for Rich Wickersham, for Virginia Hendricks, for Doug Polk, our producer, for everybody who came on the mics tonight, and all the players. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Play more pin.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.